Hello, we are live, beautiful people. We are here. Actually, I better unmute myself here. Hello, guys. I muted myself. That was weird. Why is my microphone muting? Stop muting microphone. Weird thing.
There we go.
Yeah, my microphone muted by itself. That was weird.
Yeah, mine shit muted by itself too. I don't understand what the hell that was.
That was creepy.
That was the same.
Everyone got muted. That was weird.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yes, you have to unmute yourselves, guys. Everyone muted for some reason.
Right,
Death, you're still muted, buddy.
Gotta unmute in Skype. I don't know why that happened.
That was odd, man.
And that was so weird. And now everyone sounds different.
I know. It's odd. Anywho, right. So we are live. Hey, chat. What's up? What's up, Fletch? Haha, you here to watch me run a better Curse of Strahd campaign? I don't know about that, dude. We're all sort of... I'm new to this whole running extra cam stuff, so hopefully it all works out. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Curse of Strahd Session 1. We did a Session 0 last week where we went through our house rules and bits and pieces. We'll probably just retouch on that before we start.
And I'm back.
Hello, you're back. Right, first things first. We are using a little thing called Rare Drop. So, guys, we got multiple streamers here tonight. So, if you are wanting to watch all streamers' perspectives, you want to go to that link there. And I'll just bring this up on my desktop here for a second so you guys can see what I'm seeing. So I'm in the Rare Drop site at the moment. And what you can do, once you're there using that link, there's this little arrow here in the center, which you can drop down this little box at the top here. And you've got all these selections here at the right-hand side. So if I go over to the one with the 4 boxes, it just gives you all 4 video without chat. You've got this option, which gives you one main window and a whole bunch of different windows. You want to swap that main window out. There's this little pop-up here, little square. You can swap the videos around, put whatever streamer you want up in the main focus. I use this one here with the main window on top, 3 underneath, and it brings up the chat on the right-hand side for that particular streamer. So at the moment, we've got Death Veil's stream up. And we have Death Veil's chat up, so I can go into Death Veil's chat and say hi to Death Veil in his chat. If you want to change the focus, you go down to whatever streamer's window you want to focus on, and again, on the right hand side, you'll see a little box there that, and you literally just click on it, and it'll switch the focus and the chat. Dark All-Star with a sub, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate
that link
that.
I just posted in my stream. That's the link to where you can see everybody's stream, where everyone is at and stuff.
Cool.
Yep.
So yeah, and it counts for everybody's viewer counts and all that stuff, guys.
It does.
Yeah.
From what I understand now, Rare Drop does count everyone's viewer count, so you can watch it from there and give everyone a view, which is awesome.
Yes.
Nice.
There is a way to see all chats, but you don't see any video. Or you get small video. So if you go to this one, you get small videos and you get all 4 chats.
I just have all chats up.
I
don't know who's talking where, but yeah.
Yeah, or you can go to this view, which just has all 4 chats and no video. Which is probably what I'll be running, because I don't need to see the video.
Yeah, I don't need to see the video either. I can see all you fuckers right here.
So that way, if yeah, so this way I can chuck a chat up in any one stream if we need to. Not that I'll need to, because I'll be concentrating on what the hell I'm doing. So, next thing I wanted to just quickly discuss is for the viewers. Unfortunately, the players won't hear this until I can sort out a way of piping audio. but I'll be using tabletop audio for audio today. I don't think this is all free. I've got to just say that we are using it, and I will put, and when we upload it to YouTube, I'll put a link in the YouTube to Tabletop Audio's site, so that we don't get hit with any copyright. But so any audio you hear, ambient audio, will be used via Tabletop Audio and a few audio files that I have in my Stream Deck, which are non-copyright as well. So if you do hear some audio that you quite like, tabletopaudio.com is where I'm getting a lot of this audio from. Some of these are specific to the Curse of Strahd, like the Barovian Village, Vampire's Castle, and things like that, are audio that Tabletop Audio do specifically for the Strahd campaign. So,
and all the music I'm using is coming from Epidemic Sound, so
there you go. The one thing I did want to quickly show for those that have been using D&D Beyond, if you're not subscribed, you've been probably seeing this, all this bits and pieces about the dice roller that is being worked on with D&D Beyond. They've now just put it into alpha, which is available for subscribers to use. So you guys can now see on Savage's character sheet here, which I have up in front of me, all these blue boxes that are available now on the character sheet. So with these, we'll use the initiative one as an example. If I click on this box, you'll see a dice pop up on screen, rolled an 18, does the calculations for you, and pops up a window giving you the total number. I've done multiple rolls with this dice roller, and it is very consistent. Lows and high numbers. It doesn't look like the algorithm is glitched or bugged in any way. It looks super cool on screen. For example,
What is that one?
this is a dice roller for D&D Beyond. So I've just
Oh, you gotta be the premium. Yeah.
you've got to be a subscriber to get it. So for example, at the moment, he rolled a 2 to hit, which was really bad.
Yay.
So
Wow.
if he wanted to roll to hit with his longbow, all he'd do is click on that. It rolls the dice somewhere on the screen. You've got a 14 there, plus adds his modifier, gives him 18 to hit. So we've done that. We've done the 18 to hit, so he's definitely hit. Now I can roll for damage using that one, and it rolls the appropriate dice, adds a modifier. It's awesome. It's so cool.
Like that.
So this, obviously it's an alpha, there's going to be bugs, they're going to be working on it. And it literally tells you what you rolled with. So longbow +1, damage. If I roll an animal handling check, got a 17, it'll tell you animal handling check, 17 + 3 = 20. They're doing so well, Fletch. The D&D Beyond site is adding so much stuff now. They've got an encounter thing now. Like, I won't show you encounters that I've got set up for this campaign, but if I filter this to my other campaign now, if I show, say, this particular encounter, if I run this encounter, I can now auto-roll initiative for my monsters, and then it shows the players in here. They roll initiative, I add the initiative in, I can go through and go down the list. I start it, go through each player. I can click on my monster.
Do you edit the character, or do we do that?
This sort of stuff I do.
Do you keep track of all that?
I keep track of the encounter, yeah.
Okay.
The only thing you guys keep track of in any encounter is your own hit points. So on your own character sheet, if you take damage, you click on your hit point box, and then you remove hit points or add hit points accordingly. And we'll go through all that for the new players.
Evil, I have a
Yes.
question with that.
Yeah.
If you use the roller on D&D Beyond, does it roll into your encounter?
No.
Oh,
It's
see, that'd
only
be-
on your sheet. Yeah,
Okay.
the dice roll is
That was
for you
interesting.
specifically.
Okay.
Right,
was just
so we've had a question in chat. Before we get started into session 0, we are going to reintroduce our players. We did this in session 0. We're going to redo it for session 1, and then I'm going to redo the monologue, which will lead into session 0, the prologue, sorry. So, obviously my name's Evldoa. You can find me on Twitter up here. At Evldoa on the Twitter. You can find me on YouTube, which we have just got our custom URL, so you can search Evldoa on YouTube and you'll find me there as well. I'm also Evldoa on Instagram. Discord is, if you want to join me in the Discord, !Discord on the chat. We'll give you that as well. Following down the line, we have Savage, aka the SBC, joining us. Some of you know him, some of you don't. He was in my original campaign. Had to drop out through IRL stuff, and then unfortunately was in a rather nasty accident, and is now recovered, or recovering still, but has recovered to a point where we can now get him back in and involved in D&D, which is awesome. So glad to have Savage here with us. Next to him, we have Mr. Deathvale on Mixer. Twitter handle above his face there. So check him out on the Twitter. Check him out on Mixer. Those of you on Mixer, make sure you sub to him, guys. Hit that sub button. You know you want to do it.
Okay.
Do it. Next to him, we have Mr. Malice, a.k.a. the evilest teddy bear on Mixer. Used to be. Now he's on Twitch.
I have him in the corner, so it's all the way.
Again, Twitter handle above his cam there. And lastly, but not by no means least, we have Twin Gats Gaming, formerly of Mixer, now on Twitch as well.
Hello.
And Twitter handle above his name there. So, new players. Savage is a former player, knows a little bit about D&D. He's played a bit before. Malice is also knows about D&D and has played before. Deathvale, newbie noob.
No idea.
Never played D&D.
No idea what I'm getting into.
Never played D&D before.
Always wanted to, haven't ever played it.
And
I'm in that category. with,
Mr. Twin Gats as well. There's a Mr. Newbie Noob. No idea what it, these guys are familiar. They know what RP is. They're not stupid. I mean, RP is pretty straightforward. But
Just so you know, oh sorry.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Just so you know, it took me. All right, those of you on Mixerland and stuff or whatever. It took me 45 minutes to set all this shit up. Okay, so I was like scrambling. Okay,
Gung ho
set up
with the
this whole
host.
layout.
At least you got something down. That's
Yeah.
So, chat, make sure you let me know audio-wise. Make sure these guys are loud enough so you can hear them, so that I'm not overpowering them too much. I want to make sure the audio is pretty even. So let me know who you can hear clearly. If you can't hear anyone clearly, we can organise it. So just jump in chat if you've got an issue with audio or video. Sing out. Don't be afraid to let me know that there's an issue. I'm not going to tell you to fuck off because I'm not like that.
I will.
I mean, I'll probably tell you to fuck off, but not in that way. Anyone who knows
Can
me
I
will.
tell him to fuck off?
Yeah, tell me to fuck off. Go on, do it. Do it.
Fuck off.
Do it.
Malice does it.
So,
Yeah.
so that is our panel of players. That's who is new and who is not. Obviously, I am the DM this evening. We have character names below each cam box. We have character portraits along with class and race over on the other side of the cam there. If you want to check out these guys' character sheets, we are running the D&D Beyond extension, so you should be able to hover your mouse over the video and an extension should pop up. You should be able to click on each individual character and see a partial character sheet, and there is a link in that character sheet which will take you to D&D Beyond where you can view the full character sheet. So if you do want to track their HP and what's happening within, their stats, what spells and stuff they have, that's where you can do that. I was going to put it on the overlay, but with that extension we really don't need to anymore. So we're going to go that way. So we should be pretty cool. As far as the gameplay itself is concerned, we are using a live battle map for when we do get into combat. So when we do get into a combat situation in this particular window here, we will have a live video feed using miniatures and a battle map that I will be putting terrain on or drawing stuff on and things like that. So we will have a live camera feed for that. When we do have a battle map, my camera here, you'll see me looking that way most of the time, so I won't actually be on camera as such because I'll be dealing with the miniatures, which is over to my right hand side. The extension isn't working for you. It should be. Hang on. Let's make sure it's all up and running. Give me a second here. Why is that not working? Hang on. Let me check the extension, make sure it's working. Thank you, Fletch. It's working for
Should have
you?
mine on too. I don't know if mine's working either.
So it's working. Oh, you may
mine's
have to have.
Oh wait.
It's active, so yeah, you might have to.
So you got to select the campaign.
You might have to select the campaign for it to work.
Yep.
It won't work on redrop. It'll only work on the actual. I'm not sure if it'll work on redrop. I don't know. But it's definitely active, so it's all working. So I'm not sure, Fletch. You may have to refresh, my friend. You're not using redrop? Yeah, so just refresh and see if that works. Or you may yeah, it should work for anyone, even if you don't have a D&D Beyond account. I'm not sure. Refresh it, give it a go. See it. Hopefully it works. If not, we'll be offering some stats and stuff later on anyway. Right, so I think we've just about covered it. We're just going to quickly go over the house rules again, guys, just as a refresher for you and for the viewers as well. So what we discussed on session 0 is that I myself will be rolling death saves. So if your character is reduced to 0 hit points and you become unconscious and have to roll a death saving throw, I will be doing those death saving throws and recording those for you. So you will not actually know how close your character is to death. Your companions will not know how close you are to death, so it'll make things just a little more intense during a combat situation for things like healing spells and potions and things like that to stabilize, or using a healer's kit to stabilize a companion to stop them from dying. So it means that means you're going to think about your situation a little bit more and how you can deal with that situation at the time. If you are reduced to 0 hit points and become unconscious, you will also suffer a level of exhaustion when you are returned to life, and it will take a long rest to remove that level of exhaustion. So that means a long rest equals 8 hours of continued rest. Also, for what I'm doing for this campaign, as I do for my other campaign, healing potions will do their maximum amount of healing allowed per potion. So if you get a greater healing potion or a regular healing potion, whatever its maximum allowable heals allows for is what you will get. We will not be rolling for health potions because you guys do not have a healer in your group unless someone multi-classes. I have also given you all a bunch of healing potions to start the game with for that very reason. So hopefully we can deal with that. Well, this is the thing, Fletch. This is the thing about the Curse of Strahd. The Curse of Strahd is designed for players from level 1 to 10, but it's also designed to be rather difficult. It's not an easy campaign. There are the ways. I mean, you would know. I mean, all too well, Fletch, that this campaign can end a couple of different ways. Honestly, though, Fletch, if a DM allows his players to be killed in the very first session of a Curse of Strahd campaign, then he obviously hasn't read the campaign properly and doesn't understand how the campaign's supposed to work. So that's poor DMing a little bit as well.
It's got built up, but it's all over.
Yeah. Well, the whole idea of the campaign is obviously, I want to win the campaign. I mean, the way the Curse of Strahd is Strahd wants to win. I mean, Strahd's not playing for just to play around and not to win. Strahd wants to win. So the campaign is not going to be easy for you guys. Any battle encounter you get into is not going to be easy, and you're going to have decisions to make, whether to stay and fight and possibly die, or run away and survive and fight another day, kind of scenario. So there's going to be the whole murder hobo way of thinking doesn't work with the Curse of Strahd. If you think that you're just going to come across any encounter and murder everything, then you're going to be really sadly mistaken. You will die, and the campaign will finish that much earlier. So we don't want to have that. So just bear in mind that
It's like
each
playing in hardcore.
yeah,
mode.
essentially that's what Curse of Strahd is. It's a hardcore version of a entry level campaign, but it's going to be fun. We're going to have lots of fun. There's going to be elements of horror. There's going to be humor. We want to try and keep it as light as possible. So don't take things too seriously, but we don't want to go to the extreme either way. So without any more wasting of your time and mine, has anyone else got any questions before we get started?
Nah.
Can I
Sure,
still
there'll
try
be
and eat
some
the
along the
chicken?
path.
What was that?
Can I still try and eat the chicken?
You can still try and eat the chicken.
Okay.
More of a chicken nugget.
I'm waiting for the prostitutes.
Yep. Okay.
That's
Well,
what
there may be prostitutes. You might get lucky. Then again, you may not. All right,
Right.
chat. We're gonna just quickly go through a bit of a prologue, which we kind of touched on in session 0. We're going to redo it and reintroduce our characters to you guys. We've got a few viewers in now, so we can reintroduce to my viewers, to Death Veil's viewers, Twin Gats and Malice's viewers. So without further ado, let's get a little bit of moose hack running here, a little bit of background stuff for you viewers. Let's go with the stuff here first. Right, just got to make sure we're loud enough on the music. You guys in chat, can you hear that music all right? It's just going to be background, so... Right, here we go, chat. So we join a group of newly acquainted adventurers, battle-weary after just completing a task set for them by the noble Lord Ashwood, to retrieve his prize horse from bandits that had plagued his lands. You have all returned to familiar lands to camp and rest, and decide what is to be the next course of action. As we move around our campfire, makeshift tents strung up in trees, mead being swilled, and the stories being shared, Savage, can you please reintroduce your character to the chat?
So my character is Dastak Mistralath. He is a dark elf or drow ranger. He is roughly like 6 foot. Has like purplish gray skin. Similar eyes, they're more bluish gray, and he has very like silvery white hair.
So we have our drow ranger. As we move around, as the camera pans around the campfire, we then focus on a green-skinned, armor-clad half-orc. Mr. Deathveil, could you describe what our viewers see, please?
Well, you would see a green-eyed, gray-skinned, black-haired, medium-sized, 6'5" orc as I sharpen my blade around a campfire, counting the coins in my head.
And from our green-skinned, battle-axe wielding half-orc, we then pan around to see a hooded figure sitting, regaling his the adventure of the previous days. Malice, would you describe to our viewers what they see?
Black. Just robed in black. Red eyes. No expression. Head facing down. Not interested in anything that's going on around me, but very, very aware of everything at the same time. That's it.
That's it. That's it. He is Elvin. I mean, what you do see, and with the hooded, I mean, the hooded cowl is quite low, but you do see Elvin features. He is just with that. He's a full elf, half elf. I can't remember.
Eldarin is what it says.
That's
So
elf. He's elf. Full elf. He's an elven character.
Full blown.
Full blown elf. Lastly, but not least, we pan around once more. The fire glow as the sun starts to set. The glow of the fire now focusing on a smaller character. Twin Gats, would you like to describe what the viewers see?
Yes, the bird boy, the bird man. I've been known to look reddish brown, feathery drawl across miles and miles of adventuring. I've finally found my way here, where many people don't seem to know what or who I am. I have searing yellow eyes that see right through anything in my path, and I've been known to take some things that may not be mine, but I do it of goodwill.
Right, so with that you see a 4'11" Aarakocra birdfolk. As you said, reddish brown feathers, searing yellow eyes. The top of his head is sort of dark blonde, yellowy sort of feathers, almost shaping back into almost like a small mane to a little bit. But
can I just say I see dinner. If you
That's about it.
No.
But you've all sitting around this campfire. You've been thrown together in happenstance, where Lord Ashwood had contracted someone to retrieve this prize horse from the bandits, and you all answered the call at the same time. So he contracted all of you together to head out and retrieve this horse, which you did successfully. On your way back to Lord Ashwood's estate, you were attacked on the road by the bandits that were pursuing you. You easily dispatched these thugs with, surprisingly, your little bird friend there surging out in front, raging and taking the brunt of the damage, but didn't seem to take as much damage as you would expect for such a small folk. But he was very stout and his constitution sturdy, taking a lot of damage. Charging in next into melee combat was your half-orc companion, who wielded his battle axe with great skill, hanging around the edges of the battle, choosing his moments to move in and strike, while your drow ranger, hooded and cloaked from the day's sun, from the shadows, firing his bow. And lastly, but not leastly, your caster, standing back and firing dark red and greenish arcane energies from a distance, causing some pretty serious damage on occasion. So as you sit and discuss the previous day's events, you then decide that as the sun starts to set, the sky turns from those blues into oranges and reds, and then into purples and blues into the evening. Is there anything you guys wanted to discuss amongst yourselves before you turn in for the evening?
Where are we gonna sleep tonight? Gotta find a place to stay.
You are camping on the side of the road. You have tents. You've strung up makeshift tents in the trees, which will be sufficient cover for the evening.
Beautiful.
I'll take first.
Someone has to stay up and watch our backs. while we sleep in this unknown area?
It is a familiar area to you guys. It's not unknown.
Oh, okay.
You, like I said, you've completed this task for Lord Ashwood. It's in a familiar land. This is a land you're all from. You are all familiar with the lay of this land. You know that this area is relatively safe from animals and from bandits and thugs. It's a well patrolled area. Of the local, the closest city, the city guard is often patrolling this area. So you know it's fairly safe. So you probably are aware that you may not have to have someone sit up on watch if you don't want to. But if you choose to have someone up on watch, you'd have to take turns. Otherwise, you would not get your full rest for the evening. So it is up to you how you want to approach. I say if you guys want to discuss amongst yourselves, character to character, what your plans are for the evening, who's going to turn in. If you're all going to turn in and just decide to sleep, that's fine. Or if you want to have a discussion about the day's events or not, it's completely up to you.
I'm just gonna go to sleep.
So the warlock, broody that he is, his hooded head and face and body, he's just completely cloaked in a black robe and dark hood. He just doesn't say anything, gets up, I would say probably nods in acknowledgement of the day's events and retires for the evening, leaving the three of you sitting at the campfire.
Well, if Dastak is going to take first watch, I'll take second watch, just in case.
Okay.
I'll take third watch, I guess.
So with that decision being made, you all, except for Dastak, retire to your own tents, nestle in for the evening. This is your time of day, Dastak. You are a night elf, drow, dark elf, whatever you wish to be called, or whether people call you. You are a nighttime creature. You have an amazing sense of dark vision, and so with that, I will get you to make the first roll of the session 1. Roll a perception check with advantage because of your superior dark vision, being a drow.
Natural 20 on my second one.
So we have our first nat 20 of the night, guys. Subs, we get a nat 20. You know what to do. So with a natural 20, there is not much that you do not see on this evening. You look around, you're well aware of your surroundings, especially as a ranger. You're very familiar with the forests and the forest animals. You hear and see the owls. An owl hoots off in the distance, and you look, and your elven eyes pick up movement, and you easily see the owl in the trees. You hear in the distance wolves baying, and just all manner of creatures moving through the night. You hear murmured voices off in the distance as a city guard patrol wanders past and down the road. But no danger this evening. All is fairly quiet and fairly normal for this particular area and this evening. So for all intents and purposes, your watch goes without event. You are confident that you are safe, and you then, after a couple of hours, you then proceed over and wake up Grimgash, your half-orc companion, if you would like to go wake him up, and we can start the next watch.
Just kick him in the leg. Wake up. It's your turn.
Alright, fine. Jeez. Just get ready.
So,
Yeah.
Dastak, you retire to your tent.
By the way, Dastak.
Yes.
How was it out there?
Clear.
Anything unusual?
Not at all.
Alright.
So, Grim, with that, you relieve Dastak from his watch. You take up position sitting next to the fire. You chuck another log on the fire, keep it lit, keep it warm. It's not cold this evening. It's we're probably in what I would say the equivalent of maybe autumn. So it is starting to cool down at nights, but it's not cold yet. It's probably early autumn, or what you guys in the US would call fall. So it's not cold, but it's cool enough where the fire warmth is comforting. And I will get you to roll a perception check for me. So you will need to roll a d20 and add your perception modifier to it.
So let's roll d20 plus.
So for you, it will
5,
be
right?
a +2.
+2, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 14.
14. So with a 14, you sit there and your skills, as such as they are, you're not unfamiliar with battle and you are well trained. You are constantly watching, always vigilant generally about your surroundings. So as you sit through your 2 or 3 hour watch, contemplating again the day's events and these companions you find yourself with, and sort of not judging them, but you watch them. You're not sure if you can trust them yet.
Yeah, thanks, Lee.
But your watch goes unhindered as well. You hear the similar night sounds. You've got the sounds of night animals, the fire burning. Yeah, I mean, it is sort of heading into autumn, but you still got crickets and that in the background. Sort of, you can hear them out there of the night, but nothing else really happens.
Alrighty.
So, after your watch, you then wake Yes, for his turn.
Okay, chicken, get up.
What do you want?
It's time. It's your turn. Get over
Alright.
there and flap your feathers or whatever the hell. I don't know.
Hey, listen. I'm not that kind of bird.
Uh-huh. We'll see how it happens with that. Yeah. Just be careful, because I have the roaster ready, just so you know, for breakfast.
Hey, listen. I secrete a very horrible flavor. Everybody that's been known to eat my people has died of the bird curse.
Lovely. Well, I welcome the sweet release of death.
Put that
So get out
barbecue
there.
sauce away. That's blasphemy.
Yeah, but, it's your time to go for keep an eye out, so get out there.
All right. I'm walking over. I see guards pacing back and forth on the road, but otherwise, I don't know.
You don't know what you see yet. You got to roll the dice to
Right.
see what you see. But
right, let me know,
you
let me
take
know.
you
What-
take
what
your
is it?
seat. You take your seat. You take your turn and watch. So you will need to roll a d20 and add your perception modifier, which is a +6.
Okay.
So
14.
14. So with a 14, you're pretty good. You got pretty good eyesight. I mean, you don't have dark vision like the drow, but you've got pretty good eyesight for being a bird folk, and you're pretty perceptive about your surroundings. And again, like you say, you do see that every hour or so the guard patrol wanders up the road. I mean, it's probably 50, 60 feet from your camp, but you do see them, the shadows off in the distance. After a while, though, Yash, you start to feel a little bit sleepy, and you're thinking to yourself, well, nothing's going to happen here. I mean, you know this land pretty well, and you decide, fuck it, we don't need any watch, and you crawl back in your tent and go to sleep. During the night, as you're all sleeping, a thick fog rolls in, covers the land. literally, it's almost like pea soup. You can't, literally 5 feet, maybe 5 feet viewing distance. That's pretty much all anyone can see. The fog rolls in. You guys sleep through the night. Nothing happens. It's a pretty uneventful evening. In the wee small hours of the morning, the fire dies down to a point where it's just embers. It's still warm. It's you could probably throw a few sticks on and get it going again. But you are all still just quietly sleeping. The woods are quiet. The air grows chill. The fire sputters as a low mist gathers around the edges of your camp. Growing closer as the night wears on, by morning the fog hangs thick in the air, turning the trees around you into grey ghosts. As you guys emerge from your tents, still half asleep, you all notice this mist that is now surrounding your camp. You all look around you and yes, I think you'd be the first to notice something's not right. This place looks different. These are not the same trees that surrounded you from the night before.
Yes, I did notice that. They have a different tint to them. The air has a different smell, and the sky has a different sheen to it.
It's very different.
So,
Warlock.
There you go, Carol.
Hey, Warlock. Did you do any transportations or anything, teleportations?
Not that I know of.
Were you doing sleep magic?
No. And even if I was, what do you care?
Because everything looks a little different.
I kind
Not
of
sure.
like it here.
So as you all look around,
You would.
during this conversation, as you guys all look around, you now notice that on all sides, it's just trees. There was a road 60 feet to your west the night before. That road's not there anymore. It's just trees and fog. There is a little bit of a path leading to the north, but you are literally now just surrounded in trees, and this mist seems to be hanging thick in the air. Can't see more than 10, 15 feet into the tree line. As you sort of look around your camp, Dastak, you notice there's rolled up parchment sitting next to the campfire that wasn't there when during your watch the night before.
I go up and I grab it. Yeah, I'm just gonna start reading it. 'Cause
As you unfurl this piece of parchment, you find this map. The map that I gave you guys in the chat earlier. It's now up on the screen as a reference as well. The map is of a land that you're not entirely sure you've heard of before. Can I get everyone to roll a history check for me? So that's a D20, and if you use your skills, you'll find, it's in alphabetical order, you'll find your history modifier. Add that to your D20 roll.
10.
So 10 for you, Twin. 19 for you.
So 20?
20 for you.
Wait, it was a D20, right?
Yep, D20. Plus your history modifier if you have one.
I don't have one, I don't think.
For you, your history is +2.
+2? Okay.
I got a 21.
Your history, yes, is a +0, so you can't get higher than a 20.
I thought you said +10.
No, +0 for you. So it's just a D20.
6.
6. So, Pusso, anyone that got over a 12 will know this information.
Wait a minute, so it's roll 1d20 +2, right?
Yep. 14.
14.
Sweet. So with that, Grim, Karis and Dastak.
I got a 10.
You got a 10? Okay, so you won't know it either. So as you unfurl this map, you're looking at it going, I'm not sure where this is, and you hand it around to everyone and go, hey guys, I found this, and you show them that map. Grimgash, your training, you've seen a lot of maps, and you've seen a lot of places. You've not seen this map before, but you've heard the name Barovia. You've heard tales of the land of Barovia and people getting trapped there before. They're getting sucked into this land and not being able to escape. Karis, you also know that information, but you also know the name Strahd, an entity that is said to rule over these lands. You don't know much more than that. You've just heard stories of this. You're not sure what he is. You've just heard stories of this count that lures travelers to his lands to toy with and then eventually destroy. Whether you share that information with each other, that's completely up to you. You can keep that information to yourself. That will, like I say, that comes out in roleplay if you decide to do it. But you also find a note with it, Dastak, which you can read out if you wish. If you don't want to read it out, let me know. I'll just DM it to you.
Yeah, I'll read it.
You read it out? Okay.
While they're looking at it, passing around, I'd read it out.
Okay, so I'm going to read this out for you guys. It just simply says, "My friends, know that it is I that have brought you to this land, my home, and know that I alone can release you from it. I bid you visit the village of Barovia. There you will find a manor home. Enter and discover your destiny. Signed, your host, Strahd von Zarovich."
Who does this guy think he is?
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to finding out.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. I don't know. I don't trust it.
Burn the note. Let's pretend we don't even know who he is.
You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to pretend you don't know who he is. I'll tell you this much. It makes me nervous.
So why would he bring us into his world?
Because he thinks you're cute, ugly.
Says says Mr. Gloom and Doom over here.
Better gloom and doom than disfigured.
You know how I got these scars?
No, but I bet you're going to tell me.
I hate you. Already. I don't even know you, and I hate you.
It's mutual.
Why don't you just go find a prostitute or something?
Your mom's not available.
Well, we know who.
I come from a long line of orcs. How dare you dishonor my mother?
This is going to be interesting,
Better
guys.
your mom than mine.
Stay out of this, elf.
Dishonoring your mother. That happened the day you were born.
All right, so are we just gonna keep dick measuring here, or are we going to figure out what the hell's going on? What do you know?
You don't have to dick measure you. You have a big old axe to compensate.
Yeah, exactly, right?
His dick's on his back.
Yeah, it's supposed to go for your throat
Enough.
while I cook
Let's
you.
move forward. Let's move on from this, shall we?
So what do you know about this warlock?
Well, Like I said, all that I know is it makes me nervous. This is not a good place to be, nor a good grass to be in.
It's like the note was written in blood.
Yeah, that's why I don't trust it. I'm not sure this is all about. Can I run a perception?
It's funny that you say that, yes. Dastak, when at the moment Yas sort of mentions the word blood, you look down at that note and it's written in red ink, or what you think is ink,
Could be ink.
but it's definitely red, and it does have an odor to it. The parchment's
That's
fairly
what I
old.
smelled.
With that too, guys, you all hear in the distance, nothing, I mean, not too close, but you hear a series of howls. Close enough to be a concern, but not close enough to be a threat just yet. One or two howls off in the distance.
Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wonder what those howls are about.
And like screaming in the night, I've only heard that once before. That was when I was trying to escape town when I was a young bird.
Yeah, I remember hearing those types of howls and screams before too. It was the night that I met the orc's mother.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dastak, you would recognise the howls quite well. You are a ranger. You spend a lot of time in and around the wilderness. You know them to be probably either a winter wolf or maybe guardian wolves, but one or two howls is generally not too much of a concern. But you know that they are fairly aggressive.
Well, do we listen to him or do we go the opposite way?
We should probably go the opposite way of the house.
Well, I meant
In this case, I'll ask the orc. The orc has been through quite a few battles. For as ugly as he is, he still has the higher knowledge as far as battle's concerned. Orc, what do we do?
I nod my head in agreement.
How big are the wolves?
You can't see them at
they're
this point.
dangerous. I just know that they're not fun wolves. They're not little wolves.
All right, so we can't see the wolves at all.
No. All you can do is hear
we
the
hear
distant.
the
You
howls.
hear the distant howls. At this point, you've heard maybe 2 or 3 distant howls. It sounds like 2 or 3, probably not more than that. At this juncture,
Are we just in a forest? kind of
you are
area?
you're in a sort of small clearing where your original, like, it's very similar to the campsite that you guys had selected the night before, but completely surrounded by trees apart from one small path leading to the north. And the fog, the mist is thick in the trees to the point you could probably only see 1 or 2 trees deep on all areas. Even down the path, you can only see about 10 or 15 feet before that dense fog just swallows everything up. The sky
map
is
doesn't
grey
where we are,
and dark.
This map doesn't
Well-
like to note where we start or where we are.
You on that map, you're not 100% sure where you are just yet. But like I say, there is that small path. Obviously, if you find a road, it will potentially be a road on that map. So
I'm just gonna wait. So which direction did we hear the howl?
that'll be to probably the southwest. So
I'm just gonna follow them. I'm just gonna start walking down the path.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother with a confrontation with wolves howling. I would just go down the path as well.
Okay. So are we all following suit and heading to the
Yeah,
north?
I'm gonna listen to the ugly orc.
Don't forget you guys have names and you can introduce yourselves if you so wish to each other. I mean, you guys know each other's names.
He could tell me his name. I'm still calling him just
I kind of figured. I just wanted to clarify, just in case you guys had forgotten each other's name. So you all start to travel north along the small path. Only a few steps as you get to this path. You sort of turn and look behind you, and your campsite is swallowed by the mist. As you move forward, the mist it's almost like it's moving with you in some respects, but it just swallows everything up as you walk. After about 10 or 15 minutes or so of following this small, almost like a sheep or goat path, it's nothing too well trodden, but it's a discernible path through the trees. You come to a road, a very muddy, sort of dirty road, which will bring you in, if you look on your reference map, if you see my mouse pointer, brings you in somewhere right about here. Right on the edge of the map there. Often, again, you can see looming up in the distance as the fog sort of thins as you move forward, and you can see a huge wall. It's off in the distance, so you can't really make out too many details, but it looks like it's a couple large statues with a huge gate. Probably, I don't know, maybe 200 feet in front of you. It's still very hazy through the fog, but you can definitely see it. And I'll bring you up a reference picture here in just a moment. When I find it. So if you look on the stream, when it does come up for those that have a little bit of delay, that is what you see off in the distance. This huge stone wall, sort of carved into the valley, trees on either side, road leading directly to it, with a huge iron gate.
Is it open or closed?
It is closed, from what you can tell from this distance, especially you with your vision. And one thing you notice, Dastak, is even though it's daytime, it is still very dark and dingy. The clouds have all rolled in. It's very grey. That mist has sort of formed this greyish haze. You guys sort of glance behind you, and that mist and fog is still really thick and heavy set. Looking into the trees, it's either side of the road, and behind you, it's like the mist is following you, sort of swallowing everything behind you as you walk.
I'm gonna just keep walking.
Continue on towards the gate.
Keep walking.
Yep.
How big is the gate again?
It's massive. Like you're probably 200-300 feet tall. This wall, and the gate is probably halfway up that. It's huge. The statues of armored individuals with two-handed swords set in front of them, like Christ soldiers. They got the big swords in front of them. The heads are missing though. It looks like one head is sort of lying in front of the gate a little bit. It looks in places like it's crumbling and falling down, although it looks to be still fairly sturdy at the same time.
It's intimidating.
It is very intimidating looking from where you're currently standing.
Can we see what's down beyond the gate?
No, at this point it's probably too far away for you to see past the gate. It's not 100% like the grills of the gate are not sort of wide enough to see through from this distance.
All right, I guess we got to go through the gate to see what's beyond it.
So it's going to take you a little while to get. It's still a fair distance off. So you continue to travel. The fog spills out of the forest to swallow up the road behind you. Ahead, jutting from impenetrable woods on both sides, High stone buttresses looming grey in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars. 2 headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you with only silence. So as you approach this gate, the gate squeals on its hinges as the gates open as you approach. That piercing screech of rusted metal. It kind of hurts. It's that real piercing sound, high-pitched squeal you get, almost like an amplifier's feedback. It's just really high-pitched. It's long and slow as these gates sort of slowly open and almost beckoning you to walk through.
No,
My
you're
audio-
cutting out for me.
Yeah, it just went a little nutty.
Okay, cool.
Thought it was me.
No, it's me too. Yeah, I can hear you, Evil.
Sorry, I don't know what's causing that. Hang on a moment. Wonder what's started in the background. So hopefully we get no echo. I'm not sure what's happening there. So what did you guys miss? Did you get the whole gate description?
No.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, I
well,
got the
beginning.
gate description.
Okay.
Yeah, we got the
Yeah.
gate description, yeah.
Okay, so the gate
That it's
pretty much...
opening and it sounds
Yeah.
screechy.
So the gate is opening automatically in front of you, and like rusted metal on rusted metal. It's just that squeal as it opens. You guys now probably 15, 20 feet from the gate as it opens for you as you walk towards it.
Does anybody else feel like there's a lot of things on the other side of this that want to kill us?
Yeah,
I
got a
do.
feeling
I
of
mean,
that,
I
too.
can't tell if this is built to hold us in or keep us out. It
Well, I
seems
highly
like
doubt it's to
both.
keep us out because it's opening to invite us in. So
It's a little intimidating, to be honest. It feels like a trap.
I'm just gonna turn around and run straight at Grimgash, like just trying to like topple him over.
Really?
Yep.
Why?
Okay. So you run straight at him.
Yep.
In a tackling type motion.
Yep.
Okay, Grimgash, make a dexterity saving throw for me.
All right, well,
So
do
a
that.
d20 and add +1.
+1?
Yep.
15?
15.
Yeah, D20 +1, right?
So 15.
Yep.
I would say just roll a d20 for me, Dashtak. Tell me what you get.
That one.
You charge at Grimgash. You're pretty quick for I mean, you're a drow, you're a ranger. You're pretty fast light on your feet. You fly forward, and just as you go to sort of dive in to try and tackle Grimgash, you hit a muddy puddle in the road, and you lose your footing, and you just slide face first in the road right up to Grim's feet, and literally as you slide in, your head hits him in the shins. It's like stink as you hit him. You will take 1 point of bludgeoning damage for your troubles.
looks like somebody ate their stupid flakes in the morning.
And you are now
Yeah.
covered in mud.
Yep. I'm awake.
Are you proud of yourself?
Still look better than your mom.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a thing now, isn't it? That's canon.
Oh, Jesus.
So what are you gonna do, Dastak?
I'm just gonna get up and turn around and just walk, like wiping myself off slightly, shaking my head.
Wow.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
I thought I was.
Why?
So, gentlemen, the gate is open. You're standing in front of it. What are you going to do?
Well, I guess we gotta go through it.
We have to go through it. There's 4 of us, and
Maybe somebody's at the top opening the door for him. You know, like, that's how they open gates.
You're cutting out a little bit there, Savage.
I mean, normally that's how gates work. Is somebody's at the top opening them.
should we
So you
look
want to
around?
look at the top?
I don't know. We have a bird.
We
Can this bird fly?
The bird can fly.
Come on, chicken boy.
Right back.
All right, I'm flying up.
Your flight speed is 60 feet, I believe. 50 feet. You can't fly high enough. Well, you probably could after a little bit. Your flying speed
How
is...
high are the gates?
The gates are like 200 feet tall.
Okay.
So it's going to take you a minute to get up there. Like you can fly 50 feet every round. So you could probably do... actually, what armor are you wearing? Not wearing any. Cool. So yeah, you could fly up there and have a look. It would take you probably 30 or 40 seconds to get to the top, if you wish to do that.
Yeah, why not? Let's take a look.
Okay, so Karis takes flight. He jumps up, spreads his wings, and he takes off just like any bird would. Just flies up. Karis, as you get 50 feet off the ground, 60 feet off the ground, you notice that fog is getting thicker as the higher you get.
Yep.
You get to a point, you get about 150 feet up, and now you can't really see anything. You're now in thick fog. The ground is now just a haze beneath you. And I need you now to make a Constitution saving throw for me. So a D20 for you and +3. So if you look in your saving throws box, up the top left of your character sheet, you'll see your saves. So you've got Strength, and Int, Dex, Wiz, Con, and Charisma, or CHA. Those are your saving throws. So you need to roll a D20 +3 for me.
4.
You rolled a 4. So as you move into this fog, and
Where
as
is
you
that in that box?
so if you look at your character sheet, you will see all the stats at the top, and there's a square box just below your stats which says saving throws. So whenever I ask you to make a saving throw, those are the numbers, the modifiers that you use to add to your throw.
I'm trying to find it.
I'll bring it up on stream for you if you like. So that's your character sheet there on stream, and that box there that I'm circling with my mouse is your saving throws.
Yep.
Saving throws box.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So whenever I ask you guys to make a saving throw, you use those modifiers to add to your D20, depending on the saving throw I ask you to make. If I ask you to make a check, then you use your skill modifiers, which is the big long box down the middle.
Okay.
So,
Alright, cool.
with that, you was a 4.
Yep.
So 4. 1 second here. So you take 2 points of poison damage. So you just remove 2 points of 2 points from your character sheet. So just click anywhere on that box on the top right of your character sheet that says hit points.
Yep.
And it'll bring up another pop-up. Just hit the minus twice and then apply. And that will remove the hit points from your character sheet. So, yeah, you start to almost choke as you get into this fog, and you take that and you go, oh, and you have to descend. You know that being up here is not good for you.
No, get me down.
So what do you do? Do you descend back to the ground, or do you remain in the
I
sky?
descend back to the ground quickly, faster than I've ever flown before. Yeah.
And do you say anything to the group when you return? Yash returns to the ground rather quickly. Like you saw him. He sort of ascended pretty casually, but he's come back pretty quick.
Yeah. Up there, all I saw was one lone soldier turning an old crank, smoking a pipe, and then I ended up hitting some bad weather on the way down, and took a little bit of heat from the strange weather here.
So would you say the fog is toxic?
I would say, and the higher up you go, the worse it gets. So I couldn't imagine being in somewhere with high elevation right now. Not good.
What did this lone guard look like?
Yeah. He had an old wrinkly face, and he had long dark hair, and an old corncob pipe, and he was turning just one little tiny crank, and it looked like that's what he's always done.
Was he human
Ancient,
or?
he was looked like a half elf, half human, old man.
Great.
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight.
14.
14.
Do we have a choice?
14. Yeah. Well, not with a roll like that, unfortunately. Yash is lying through his teeth, and you have Yash is bullshitting, and you've caught him out.
No.
Yeah. No.
I saw him. I'm telling you, I saw an old man. Could have been the toxic fog, though.
What did I miss?
Can make you see things.
So Chicken Boy can't fly, and he's trying to say that there's a guard up there, but it's kind of a bullshit story.
Can I intimidate him?
Break out
Sure.
the barbecue sauce. Let's go.
Sure.
No.
All right. I get him by his roughly feathers around his neck, and I put him up. I hold him up high, about 3 feet off the ground.
Which you would, because he's like 4'11", and you're like 6'5", so you'd quite easily be able to pick him up.
And I want to intimidate him, saying, "What did you see?"
Roll an intimidation check for me.
I'm telling you, I saw an old man turning a crank.
D20 plus 4 for you.
Roll D20 plus 4?
Yep.
All right.
It was the vapor. Could have been.
So Grimgash has picked you up.
Saw.
Yes, he's got you by your neck, your neck feathers, and he's got you holding you up. And he's I don't know. Are you shaking him or just in his face?
Just holding him up, just
holding
ruffling his feathers, basically.
Okay, and he is
while he's doing that, I'm
asking you what you saw.
Feather.
What was your roll? 7. Yeah. Yes. He's lifting you up, but you're not scared of him.
I need my wings to fly. Don't hurt me.
Yeah, you're not really scared of him, but you know he means you know what he means. You know he's trying to be the big man, but it's just not really coming off the way he hopes. So you're not totally scared. So it's pretty much up to you how you react.
I stick with my story. I saw an old man up there turning a crank. He wasn't really a guard, though. He looked like maybe an old citizen, an employee. Yeah, is really bad. it could have been the vapor from the altitude.
Can we just cook him? I'm hungry.
Same.
While they're sitting there like talking and all this, I'm sneaking up behind Yaz, trying to pull a tail feather out.
Roll a stealth check first. Firstly, to see if you can hide.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yes, roll a perception check for me. So for you, that will be a D20 plus 6. You got to beat 20.
Uh, 20.
So you both got 20. So you notice, even though you've been held up by Grimgash at this point, so I'm assuming Grim hasn't let him go. So you've been held up in the air. Grimgash is trying to figure out whether you're telling the truth or not. And you are pretty perceptive. Your bird senses are tingling, and you know that young Dashtak has snuck around behind you, and you can feel him reaching up and attempting to grab a feather from your probably your tail or your back.
Son of a bitch!
You can't really do anything about it because you've been held up in the air by it right now. So Dash, you can still take a feather if you wish. He knows you're there.
I'm just slowly like pulling on it. Just
You're gonna try.
It's torture for my people.
Are you gonna attempt to remove the feather?
sure, yeah.
Strength check for me.
Oh boy. It's straight strength.
Just a
minus
straight
1.
strength.
That's an 18.
An 18? Holy crap! Yeah, you. That doesn't take too much. I mean, a bird feather's fairly easy to pull out. You give it a sharp tug, and yes, you screech in pain because it's not a pleasant thing having a feather pulled out.
It says. Oh man, the last guy that did that to me, he ended up 6 feet deep. I'm just letting you know until I get that feather back.
Which yes says you being held up in the air by a half orc because Grim hasn't put you down yet. Your feet are swinging, your feathers are flapping, and you're just hung up in the air with Grim's hasn't. Unless you're going to try and struggle to break free of Grim's grip.
No, I'm just gonna throw him down.
You're gonna throw him down. So he drops you. Roll a dexterity saving throw for me just quickly. See if you land on your feet or on your butt. So D20 plus 2 for you.
Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah. Damn, man. 3.
Oh no! As Grim drops you, you go to sort of land on your feet, and because the road is muddy, you just lose your footing, and you land on your butt in a puddle. Your feathers are now covered in mud and dirty water. You got a sharp pain in just above your tail feathers where Dashtak has forcefully removed a feather from your coat. What do you do?
Dashtak got one of the good ones.
So after I drop him,
all my feathers are filthy.
So after I just dropped him on his ass, I just looked towards the gate and just started observing, looking around, seeing what's going on.
Okay, so roll a perception check for me.
All right, that a D20?
That's a D20. All checks are D20s. You'll need to add your perception modifier, which should be a +2.
Alrighty. 7.
7. It's a big ass gate with big ass statues. Pretty much.
It's a damn gate.
I
got nothing.
You got fog. You got trees on either side. You got a big ass wall with a big ass gate with big ass statues.
I'm going to make a comment here to the dark elf. So you tried to charge the orc. You failed, horribly embarrassed yourself. You stole a feather off the chicken. You try anything with me, I'll feed you to the damn wolves.
Roll an intimidation check for me, Karis.
Alright. I will do that. That's D20 with what?
Your intimidation, which for
There
you
it
is a plus 5.
Yep.
Very charismatic.
17.
17. Dastak, roll a d20. If you can't beat 17, you are intimidated by Karis.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. You take on board what Karis has said to you, and you are now, at this point, very aware that what he has said will probably come to pass if you fuck with him.
Noted.
And I want my feather back.
At that, I'm headed towards the gate.
So yeah, so Dastak just turns on his heels and heads right for the gate. Do you follow?
Yeah, we got no choice. I'm going through the gate.
Okay.
We have to go.
I hold the tail end.
So you all proceed forward towards this large rusted iron gate. You pass through it. It's the whole gate, the whole structure is about 25 feet wide. So as you approach the gate's sort of in the center of the structure. So 10 or 15 feet in, you pass through where the iron gate's at. It all looks like it's old and crumbled. Still very sturdy, but it just looks old. Looks like it's been here for 1,000 years. You pass through, and as you pass through on the other side, and you breach the edge of the wall on the opposite side, you hear that same rusted iron screeching as the gates close behind you. Seemingly unaided by anybody, but they do close, and then with a heavy sort of clang as they finally close and shut. The fog still hangs thick in the air around and just around the edges of the forest, and that you now move forward on the map. You've now passed through the gate, which is here on your map, and you look at your map. You're now pretty much on Old Slavich Road, on the beginnings of Old Slavich Road. Dastak, checking the map, you relay to your companions that if you follow this road, you will reach the village of Barovia. Looking at the map, it's probably going to take you about 4 or 5 hours to get there.
Okay.
So you know it's going to take you a little while. It's a bit of a long road.
I'm gonna turn to Yaz and be like, "You can have the feather back when you tell me what you saw."
I didn't see anything. I hit the fog and couldn't make it.
And you just drop the feather?
Yep.
So he just drops the feather
Thank you.
in the muddy road.
I'm sure if you want
I
to
have-
double check, the orc would be more than happy to throw you up there.
I could.
We could try that actually in future endeavors.
So, guys, as you proceed forward on this side of the wall, towering trees whose tops are lost in heavy grey mist block out all but the death grey light. Tree trunks run naturally close to one another, and the woods have a silence of the forgotten grave, yet exude a feeling of unvoiced scream. So this whole area is just dense, on either side of the road, dense forest. The mist is just hanging on all trees. You can't see the sky now. It's just that grey, overcast, dark. You know how you get those real dark winter evenings, winter nights, where it's just winter afternoons where it's just so dark. It's almost like it is dark. It's just so dingy and grey. After about an hour of travelling, who has the highest perception? Passive. It's 15, 12, 13. Yes. You have the highest perception.
Okay.
Yep. You sense a certain smell on the air. It's an odor you've smelled before. It's the scent of death. And shortly after you twig to this scent, Karis, with your skills as a necromancer, you also catch the same scent of death. And
yeah, I've smelled this before. This is
you both sort of stop and sort of look around, and it takes you a moment to sort of determine sort of where this scent is coming from. Do the rest of you stop with these guys, or do you carry on?
I stop.
They're behind me, so I don't even know.
yeah, I stop. I've smelled this before.
Do you let Dastak know you stopped, or you let him carry on walking?
Oof. He has to recognize the smell for himself and move on.
So Dastak, you keep walking, but after about 10 or 15 feet, you realise you don't hear your companions anymore, and you stop and you turn, and they're all stopped sort of 15, 20 feet behind you, discussing something. So Karis, you've smelt this before yourself, in a different light. Whether you consciously make the verbal connection or not is kind of out of your control, but you sort of turn and you just mention a name as just as you sort of turn and catch the scent of death, and everyone sort of, you guys hear Karis say Catherine, and you stop and spin and you take 2 steps into the trees. What are you guys doing?
I'm processing. I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm smelling.
Wait, so
My eyes
who
are
ran into the
wild.
trees?
Karis took 2 or 3 steps into the trees towards what he senses. Whether Yash follows or not, I'm not sure. But all you heard him say was the name Catherine, and then walk into the forest.
Alrighty.
Katrine, who is Katrine? That he spoke of before he walked into
Ask him.
into the forest away from us. I'll follow him and ask him who is this Katrine that he speaks of.
So
I get off the road on the opposite side.
Okay, so
I look at the chicken. I look at the chicken.
just before you start, Melis, Twin, this is, these moments, talk to him as yes. Don't tell us what you're doing. Just talk to him, like ask him the question.
Okay.
As your character.
Well, then have him ask me directly.
Yeah.
Ask me
So
directly.
ask Karis directly, about the name, rather than say Yes is going to do this kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so who is this Katrine that you speak of?
Listen, chicken, mind yourself, or your head will be on a stick.
Okay. I saw you wander off into the woods and speaking in a different tongue, so I had to figure out for myself what was going on.
You had to figure nothing.
I back up slowly.
Mind yourself.
Yes.
I back up slowly.
The
back to the camp.
the intimidation, the hostility is clear from Karis, and you back away, giving him his space. Karis, you move forward towards this sense, if you will, and you find a human corpse half buried in the underbrush, about 15-20 feet from the road. The corpse is of a young man, appears to be a commoner. He's got muddy clothes, torn, raked with claw marks. The crows have been at the body as well, which is surrounded by paw prints. He's obviously been dead for several days. He holds in his hand a crumpled envelope.
I take the envelope.
You take the envelope and you open the envelope and you read.
Slowly and cautiously.
That's fine. It's not a problem. Not that one, this one. So, do you read it out loud, or do you just read it to yourself?
I'll read it out loud.
Okay. So you guys are only about sort of 10-15 feet away from him anyway. So if he reads it out loud, you'd hear it. You'd hear it. Even Grim, from your position, you'd hear what he's saying. So as you read this out, is hail to thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kulyana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 100 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now my dear Irina languishes in death from an unholy wound cursed and caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let the holy men call upon their power that the devil may be contained within the walls of the weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrow to our graves. Save the world from this fate evil of ours. There is much wealth entrapped within this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Signed, Kulyan Indrovich.
Has anyone ever heard of that name before?
I've never heard of that name. I'm not sure. What is it inked in?
It's just regular ink. If Karis returns to the group and to the side of the road, he hands it around. You guys have a look at, and it's written on not fine parchment, but it's reasonable parchment. So it would give you an idea that the person that penned this letter was not poor, but not hugely rich either. Kind of upper working class kind of paper. It's penned very well. It's in fine script, so the person is educated.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I guess we got to find out who this is.
Yeah, it looks like
where this body came from.
something official, something that came from one of the, maybe nobility. From this area.
We don't know what vampires are, do we?
Karis probably does, with his knowledge of necromancy. Everyone else roll a history check for me to see how well you how much knowledge of vampires you really have. So for Dashtak, that's a +1. Grimgash, you'll be rolling a d20 +2. Okay. And yes, you are a +0, so just a d20.
I rolled it for the shit of it, and I got a 20.
I probably should have made you roll anyway. So 5 for you, 14. Dashtak, 11. So Grim, you have no idea what a vampire is. You didn't even really register to the word. Karis, the moment you read the word vampire, you kind of put 2 and 2 together from your knowledge of Strahd and the stories you've heard of the Count. Yes, you've heard of vampires. You've heard, again, in stories as a young bird. stories that have been given out about the vampire and that they drink blood and things like that. But you've not heard of Barovia, you've not heard of Strahd in particular, but you know of vampires and what they are. Dastak, you've probably heard of vampires. You've never really gotten much details about them. You know the name. You know roughly what they are. You know that they're undead, but that's about it. You don't really have a huge amount of knowledge. Karis, however, you have a pretty good knowledge of the undead and vampirism, the curse that is vampirism, and obviously, as I say, with your necromantic skills, you are well versed in undeath, and you already have an understanding of Strahd. You've heard the story of Strahd, well, but some parts of it. You're not 100% sure about how much of it's legend, how much of it's truth, but you have heard of these tales.
Well, I would say, for those of you in this group that don't know, you might have heard the stories that the vampires, they drink blood, that they are undead, but they're also excellent hunters. Excellent hunters. And even with the orc, we won't fare well.
You think I'll be the first to go, being a tasty bird?
I'm saving you for dinner.
Please protect me, please. And maybe. That is the prize gift of my people, but I do come from barbarian ancestry, so we've faced these creatures in our lore, but I've never seen one or heard of them before now.
Consider yourself lucky.
Yes, that I'm not basted in your secret sauce.
God damn it, man.
Yes, and it takes yes to get them to break character. Fucking awesome. Well done, sir. Well done.
So what do you know? I have no idea about this vampire you guys speak of. What do you guys know about this guy?
The guys, the vampire in question, the count in specific, not much. Nobody knows anything. Vampires in general, I can tell you stories for eons. But if the stories are to be believed about Strahd and about vampires and putting 2 to 2 together, what we're about to go against is unlike anything you've ever faced before. So for everything that you've learned, everything that you know, you better get it the fuck together, because if you don't, each and every one of us are going to fucking die.
Just don't ask me to fly again.
We'll give you up as a sacrifice so we can get out clean.
All right, then I guess we gotta go and see what's going on with this letter. We have to head into town.
All right.
So as you sort of examine the rest of the letter, Karis, you notice that the letter has a large B set into its wax seal. The parchment's worn and flimsy. The letter is also dated 1 week prior from the current day. So, are you going to return back to the road, or are you going to investigate further?
I want to investigate further.
So, what are you specifically investigating for?
Cause of death.
I'm gonna follow you.
So, roll a medicine check for me. It's pretty obvious that, the wounds, like from what you know, just from a quick glance, is claw marks raked across
18.
his chest. So on further investigation into the wounds that this body has sustained, you can pretty much tell that this guy has been probably attacked and mauled to death by some form of animal. There's claw marks and bite marks across his chest and abdomen. There's been crows knit out his body, so part of his face has been opened up. One of his eyes has been removed. So all the skin on his left side of his face is all pulled back and picked at by crows. Other animals have had a go at the corpse as well. So it's pretty smelly as well. So you you are pretty certain that he was mauled to death by maybe a wolf or something larger.
Can I check tracks?
There are loads of paw prints around this body, and they're probably from what
No particular direction.
No, they're sort of all over the place. They no sort of discernible one direction that they travel. They sort of come in all directions and go in all directions. There's a lot of paw prints.
I go up and can I examine the paw prints?
Sure thing. Roll an investigation check. Actually, roll a survival check. Sorry. Make that a survival. So for you, it'll be right at the bottom of your skill checks. So it'll be a +0. So just a D20.
All right. 8.
8. They're paw prints. They're probably you know that there's some form of canine creature, a little bit larger than a dog. Some are probably twice that size. So there's a good mixture of paw prints there, but you don't really know much about animals per se. You know that they're paw prints of some description.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere, like they're all over the place, coming and going in different directions.
So are we talking about a pack?
It'd be a safe assumption.
So are these smaller than dire wolves?
Roll a survival check as well, Karis, to see how much you know about wolves.
8.
8. You could probably assume maybe a direwolf. There are some larger paw prints among these, but there's a lot of smaller ones as well. So one could assume that it was just a regular pack of wolves. Maybe, as Dastak had mentioned earlier, maybe winter wolves or guardian wolves, guardian wolves are a lot larger than a regular wolf. So it could have been guardian wolves. Kind of hard to tell.
Okay. Well, from that, I say we move forward. What do the rest of you say? What say ye?
Do we know what direction these paw prints are going towards or from?
They're coming and going from
just scattered.
All directions.
I'm with Karis.
Yeah, so we keep going.
So you decide to move forward and head towards the village of Barovia?
Wait. All right. Can we examine if there's any other corpses?
You can investigate the area further if you wish. So roll an investigation check.
All right.
Yep. So with you, so investigation is a +2 for you.
+2. Okay. 16.
You sort of search around for 10 or 15 minutes, searching the bushes, and I mean the trees are quite thick and close together here, and there are sort of low-lying shrubbery and bushes around as well. So you have a good search around for about 10 or 15 minutes, and you find no other bodies, no blood trails. You find more and more paw prints as you sort of scatter out. The paw prints sort of thin out the further away from the body you get, but you do not find any more bodies. What you do here, however, is another series of howls, a little bit closer this time than they were before, and probably double the amount that you heard prior. So before it sounded like 2 or 3. This time it sounds more like 6 or 7, maybe 8. It's almost a chorus of howls.
How would I
look at the orc. I look at the orc and I say we should take care of this before they sneak up behind us, or before they encircle us. I say we take care of this.
Have they been following us?
You're not sure whether they're following you or whether that's just the fact that you're now. I mean, you as with your skill are probably thinking, well, hey, we're standing on a corpse or around a corpse. They've probably been eating this corpse, and they're probably going to come back for their food. Probably not a good place to be.
Alrighty.
Evil.
Yo.
How do I perceive these howls?
You being with your skill as a ranger and with hunting and that, you would, the fact that they're closer and there's more of them now, you would definitely know that it is probably a pack, and the howling is a way for them to communicate. And they're probably not tracking you, but they're definitely a threat, and generally not a good place to be right now.
Well, they're not tracking us. They're going to be tracking us. That corpse is almost completely picked clean. So I would prefer to be on the front end of the group than rather in the middle.
Right.
Yeah, I'll dash my way. I'll fly my way to the front.
Do we know what direction these wolves are from, or is it just surrounding sounds?
What's that, sorry?
Do we know where the howls are coming from?
They're coming from the road, where you came from the road, following up the road. You've moved off to the northern part of the road, so it's on the top part of the road. So it's probably back towards the gates and behind you, but they're in the forest. So it's more or less the way you came is where the sound's coming from. So if you're looking on the map here I've got up, you guys are sort of halfway down this road and you've moved into the forest towards sort of the northish. The howls sound like they're coming sort of from this area, back behind you.
Well, I look at the orc and I say, you're the one with the military experience. You're the one with the battle experience. I've told you what I think. What do you feel?
We could take care of it, but I would suggest that we go towards the town. Because instead of doubling back and taking care of it, we should head to town and see if we can rest up and get some energy and prepare.
Okay.
I've already taken damage, so I'm good.
We kill 8 wolves.
Chicken, you're a jackass.
If it was like 4 wolves, then we could probably take it. But if it's like 8 or 9 wolves, then I would say we have to go back and prepare.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good for preparing. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's because you're a chicken, meaning you're chicken shit.
I can't take him on yet. I'm not good enough. I got nothing. This guy's taking my feathers.
Have you ever been good enough?
Not for his mom.
I need to build up my armor.
Yeah, so Dashtak
no
is
armor.
got enough knowledge. Yeah, Dashtak's got enough knowledge that he probably impart with you guys. Savage, if you got something to say, dude, speak up. But yeah, Dashtak has enough knowledge on hunting and wolves to inform you guys that you guys are no match for a pack of hungry wolves at this point. And the fact you're in a foreign land, you're not sure where you are, you got no knowledge of the area apart from the map that you carry, it's probably not a good idea to try and face these wolves down.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, let's move. Let's move. Let's stop talking. Let's move.
So you move back to the road and start heading towards the village. You move back to the road. The howling dies off in the distance after about 10 or 15 minutes. And you continue for another couple of hours. Seems almost endless. The fog is still thick in the trees. But after 2 or 3 hours, ahead of you see a break in the tree line. And as you break this tree line and open out into more open land, off in the distance to your south, you see a river. The river flows clear as the blue winter sky, which is kind of unusual considering how dim and dark and dingy this whole area is. This river stands out as being crystal clear and clean. But it's almost a comforting sight to see something so clean and clear through this dark and dingy land. The grass
It doesn't sit well with me.
The grass and that around you in the area, I mean, it's green, but it's an odd color green. It's almost like it just lacks vibrance. The whole area, the trees and everything is the same, but this river just stands out against this backdrop. The river's roughly 50 feet wide, give or take. From where you can't really tell how deep it is from where you are, but it looks like it's a substantial running river. It's definitely a substantial body of water. So,
do we know what's in the river?
No, we
Does it
can't.
just flow?
It's just water, from what you can tell. You can't see anything from where you are. I mean, you're
Alrighty.
a reasonable distance from it. You can just tell that there's a river there, and roughly how wide it is from where you are.
Okay.
You proceed forward for another hour, and you now start to see the outskirts of the village of Barovia, which you look on your map and you see that this is yep, we're on the right track. This is the village, and you now start to approach the village. Tall shapes loom out of the dense fog that surrounds everything in this place. The muddy ground underfoot gives way to slick, wet cobblestones as you approach this small village. The tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sounds cut through the silence except for a mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance.
So I just kind of look at the group and I say, I just kind of look at everybody and I say, we need to get our story together. We need to come up with something. In a land like this, much like the tales of Dracula, the town is under the control of the vampire. The town works, or most likely works, in tandem with the vampire. We cannot stand out as we do currently. What's the story?
I don't know if they've ever seen a talking bird, so I have to find a uniform to cover up quickly. That way I blend in right away.
You could just wait in the woods for all I care.
You do have a
Or,
cloak.
you
do have a cloak with a hood, yes, if you wish to.
All right. I'm putting this cloak on.
Man, I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
You are a sore thumb. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, right? There's no way.
Karis, the one thing you do remember from the stories about Barovia and about this land is pretty much all human. No, most races just are not. Most other races are not seen here. It's just about 100% human. So you guys, you know full well that you guys will stand out.
Well, we're all going to stand out, but this is why we need a story. But though they may all be human, so is Transylvania. Transylvania is primarily human.
Yeah.
Transylvania doesn't exist here.
I'm rolling with it. Not in this place, but you never know. There'll be another D&D campaign with Transylvania in it. We're creating a multiverse here.
Yes,
It's
we
the
are.
MCU D&D version.
I would say we just need to find a tavern.
So,
Yeah, I think there we can at least get some information about the
But
town.
the
and
story,
passing through.
the story
The
needs
story.
to
Yeah.
needs to work.
Yeah.
Because these people haven't seen anything like us before. So there needs to be an explanation.
Yeah, where did we meet?
As to not to raise suspicions or fear.
Yeah, why are we in town?
So from where you guys are currently standing, you're sort of looking around, you're discussing this. You're looking around, and the houses, the buildings, there's no lights in the windows. It's even though it's still daytime, it's still probably mid-afternoon, it's still very dim and dark and dingy. A lot of the houses are boarded up and look abandoned. It's just, this whole place looks like it was abandoned thousands of years ago. The street you're currently standing on, the gravel road leads to this village. Tall dark houses stand as tombstones nestled among these solemn dwellings are a handful of closed up shops. Even the tavern, which you now see, is shut up tight. A soft whimpering draws your eye to a pair of children standing in the middle of the street of an otherwise lifeless area.
God.
Don't trust it. Don't trust it.
So is it dark here?
It's dingy.
I push the children away.
The children are probably 20 feet away from you guys. They're often sort of hitting you. I mean, you're sort of right on the outskirts of town, and you can see them sort of 20, 30 feet away down the street. And there's a little boy and a little girl. The little boy is sort of whimpering a little bit. You can sort of hear him.
Okay, so this is my suggestion. I'll move in, I'll investigate. I'll ask questions. Stay close, stay ready for anything that might happen.
All right. I'll keep my back to your back.
So as Karis, as you approach the children, after shushing the boy, a little girl turns to you as she sees you approach and says, "There's a monster in our house." She then points to a large, tall brick row house that has seen better days. The windows are dark. It has a grated portico on the ground floor, rusted gates slightly ajar. The houses on either side are abandoned, their windows and doors boarded and closed.
Okay, so I kneel down to the children, to the little girl. What does this monster look like? Did you see it?
I don't know what it looks like, but I've heard its terrible growls and howls. Our parents know what it looks like, though. I don't. They keep
Where
it
are
trapped
your
in the
parents?
basement. I don't know. I haven't seen them in some days.
And I look at the boy and I say, "You boy? Have you seen it?"
No, but it sounds horrible. Are you gonna kill it for us?
Yes. Yes, I will. Fret not.
And with that, you watch the little boy sort of fights back the tears and got snot running down his nose, and a typical sort of 8-year-old kid. Just you see, they're both dirty. They're not clean, and the tears have created these clean streaks down his cheeks. He sort of bolsters up a little bit with hearing that, and they both turn around and say, "There's our baby brother's on the third floor. We've heard him crying. I don't know where our parents are, but if you can kill the monster, maybe our parents will come home."
Who's the fastest moving in the group?
Do you ask the group that?
I can't believe you promised those children that we
Chicken,
could kill
shut up.
that monster.
You're all about the same speed. Yes is a little slower than you guys because he's smaller, but you all move about the same speed.
Why do we help those who cannot help?
Why
I
do
can't
we
believe
those that cannot help themselves? Are you actually asking that question?
I mean, yeah.
If
So-
I maimed your leg in the next person that you saw, would you not ask them for assistance if you're bleeding out on the ground?
I mean,
You mean what? What do you
it
mean?
depends.
What do you mean? It depends on what? Your arrogance? You're a fool. So, I look at the orc. Orc, you and I go
Yes.
for the monster. The chicken and the night elf go for the child.
I look around. I go up to the children.
You're gonna scare the shit out of them. They're worried about a goddamn monster. You gotta fuck.
And as you approach the children, Grim, the little boy sort of turns and looks, goes, "What are you? Get away, monster, monster!" And the little girl sort of turns and slaps him around the ears. "Shut up! They're trying to help us. I mean, he is a bit ugly, but he's trying to help."
I examine the children. I see, like, I look around. I see. I want to look into their eyes. So
Look
what
into
do
their
I
eyes.
see? Yeah.
Roll an insight check for me. So insight for you is +2.
That's 2.
Yeah.
22.
They're genuinely scared. Like, you can see the girl is a little bit older than her brother, but they are genuinely terrified of this house. They don't want to go back in. They're out here because they've obviously heard something or seen something, and they're scared. I mean, he's obviously been crying and is upset. She seems a little bit more composed, but she definitely looks scared as well of the house.
Alrighty.
Actually, chicken. If you don't want to go into the house, you stay with the children. You look like dinners, or they might not be as afraid of you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hang back, considering I've already, taken quite a beating on the way here. So,
It's all shit. It's all
I
good.
have a little bit of blood on my feathers, so I'm gonna hang back.
Night elf, you go for the child that's still in the building. Can you do that? You arrogant son of a bitch.
I guess.
Choose your words carefully. Good. Orc, are you with me?
I go look at the children. I tell them, "Don't worry, little ones. We'll take care of it." And I look at Karis and I just say, "Let's go in." I get my axe ready. I pull it out and start heading towards the door.
So you start heading towards the door. Karis, you head towards the door as well?
Yes.
As does Dastak, I'm assuming, who is entering the house
Yep.
also. And yes, you're
I'm
staying
right behind
outside at this point
With the kids.
with the kids.
So,
And I turn around and I tell Yaz, I'm like, "Are you sure?"
you know what? I'd probably be more abuse in the house. I changed my mind. I'll go inside.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So you all proceed to the front door. Let's see, I've got some reference stuff here. So where is our first map? 1 second, guys.
Very likely going to be going into our first fight, so make it a good one.
Right, so let's bring that up. Right, so you guys, you walk up to the front of this large house. I just need to bring background music down. It is getting really loud. Sorry, chat. One second. It's pretty cool music, by the way. It's pretty, you guys can't hear this. So you approach the front of this house. A wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other fills the archway of a stone portico. The gate is unlocked. Its rusty hinges shriek when you push the gate further open to proceed forward. Oil lamps hang from the portico ceiling by chains, flanking a set of oaken doors that open into a grand foyer. So as you move forward, you move into this. It's a large sort of open foyer area which doesn't really have a whole lot in it. There's a few pictures hanging on the right hand wall. You walk through a double set of doors. It's about 30 feet long, about 20 feet wide, and at the other end you have another set of closed double doors. So it's a typical entryway to a home. Nothing too spectacular. The bottom floor, it's fairly dusty and dank, which is kind of odd. I mean, from what information you got from the children, you would assume that someone's been living here recently, but this whole area is just dusty and looks like it hasn't been lived in for a long time.
Oh no. I think we should investigate.
So hanging on the south wall of the foyer is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, a stylized golden windmill with a red field, flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer to the next room. It's a set of panes with stained glass in them.
What's on the stained glass?
It's just patterned stained glass. You can sort of see through it if you wanted to walk up to them and have a look through. You can sort of see through, and it looks like there's just another large sort of area in like a large room, almost like probably like a main hall or something.
Do I hear a baby at all?
Stop and listen, and nothing at the moment. You don't really hear any noise at all. It's just that, like, you get a bit of wind through the house, almost like you get that abandoned house feel.
So I look at the group. We gave our word. Do we split up and take care of this in two of us, 2 by 2, or do we go together? And what do we take care of first? Do we save the child, or do we go for the monster?
Well, if we clear the house as we go for the child, just figure if there's a monster
according to
or
the
not.
children, according to the children, the beast is locked in the basement.
So I would go for the children first. I would go for the child first.
Yeah, it seems like the quicker route as well.
Okay, let's go for the child first. The 4 of us.
Go for the child first.
Yeah.
So you proceed forth. So as you proceed forward, ladies and gentlemen, you move through the double doors, you open them, and you now find yourselves in the main hall, which is exactly what you see on stream right now.
Okay.
So you've got it's a very nondescript main hall. The double doors you've come in are at the bottom here. So you've come into this area here, right at the bottom left. There's a small single door to your right. A bit of a fireplace off to your left there. Across the room is another couple of single doors and a small sort of hall, and a spiral staircase leading to what you would assume would be the first floor. So that is roughly what you see right now as you walk in.
The children said that the child is on the second floor, correct?
Third floor.
The third floor.
They said the baby was on the third floor. Yeah.
The babe's on the third floor. So we make our way to the third floor, I say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you want to proceed directly to the third floor?
Are there any doors on the first floor?
On this floor here, you got 3 doors.
The one we came in and 2 others.
3 others.
Okay.
From what you see,
3
actually,
others.
from where you are, there's a small alcove. So you got the doors you came in directly to your north. There's a single door, 2 single doors in the north wall. There is a single door in the wall directly to your right, and there's a small alcove which has 2 small single doors just to the left of the stairwell. So you actually, what you can currently see from where you're standing in that room is 5 doors, 5 single wooden doors.
I would say we just go up to the third floor and work our way down.
Straight.
I agree with the orc.
Straight to the third floor?
Yeah, and then work our way down.
Let's
So, as you want to go to the stairs first. Give me a second, I've got to get my map out. So, you proceed up the spiral staircase. You hit the first floor landing. Technically second floor if you want to get technological, depending on how you look at it. As you top the... give me a second, I've got to find me... Gotta remember what area that is. Just give me 1 second, gentlemen. You went the way I didn't expect you to go, which is cool. Now I've got to remember what the area it is.
I figured that's why you're looking for shit. You're like,
Yeah,
well,
area
hold on
6.
a second.
Right, here we go. I found it.
Grab
Right.
some water.
So you've... Yep, no worries. I'll give you a quick reference map. Actually, we'll take a short break. We've been going for 2 hours. So we're going to take a couple of minutes, grab a drink, have a toilet break, and we'll come back with a description of this next area. So chat, bear with us. We're going to have a short break. I need to go for a bio break anyway myself, so we will just go over to BRB for 1 moment. So we'll be right back, chat.
All right.
And I'm back. Welcome back, chat. Holy crap, Yanti. Thank you very much. We had 5 gifted subs. Tony Rumble, Lost Chapters, Death Vale TV, Six and Sparkle, and the Manster, all been gifted a sub by Miss Yanti. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's get some hype in the chat, guys. Exclamation point hype for Miss Yanti. We can drop some nat 20s in the chat as well, subs.
Yo, Tony, what's up, man? Tony Rumble.
Here we go. There's some hype. Spam that. Spam it. Spam it. Also, too, guys, just make sure if we get a natural 20, if anyone rolls a natural 20, spam the nat 20 emote in the chat. I have dropped my GG emote and have just added my natural 1 emote. So that's pending at the moment. So hopefully the next 7 or 8 days we will have a natural 1 emote as well. So same thing goes when we have a natural 1 or a natural 20 rolled in the game, we will spam those emotes. Every time we get a follow or a sub or anything like that, hit the exclamation point hype. Everyone can do it. We have some fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen that one, Fletch. That's pretty cool. If you sub to Lost Chapters got a couple of cool emotes as well. Natural 20s and natural 1s.
I lost my good D20.
No.
Where did it go?
I don't know.
I'm really thinking of getting my dice out, but I'm not good with maths. So no.
Well, that's where the bot's really good because it does it for you.
Exactly, that's why I'm using the bot, because I suck at math.
Yeah.
So nice. Just be like, okay, and I got...
yeah, I think the one on D&D Beyond does. And the Avray bot that I've got on Discord does as well.
For the D&D dice roll, you need a subscription, don't you?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, you need to be subbed to have access to the alpha. But I'll tell you what, it won't be long. Give it maybe a month, 6 weeks, and they'll have it available for everyone in beta. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Again, it's all for testing purposes and
Thank you for the
stuff.
follow, dude. What's up? Yeah.
Which would be pretty cool. So we're just waiting on Mr. Malice.
Right
He rolled it right to the floor. Well, that was clever.
I can't pick it up. So.
Oh, if you need to use a dice roller on.
I have 2 sets of.
Well, I got like 5 sets of dice, so I got dice all over the place. But yeah, so chat, welcome to the show. My name's Evldoa. I'm from New Zealand, all on the other side of the world for all you Americans that are joining us. We are in session 1 of my Curse of Strahd campaign, which I decided to put on mainly because I'm running a homebrew campaign at the moment on Oceanic time zone, mainly for the US time zone, because I've got a lot of US friends that have been wanting to watch the game, get into the game, play the game. So I spent a bit of time asking around some of my American friends that I met through content creating here on Twitch and on Mixer, and discovered that these fine fellows over here were keen on getting into a D&D game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Twin Gats and Death Vale are both brand new to the D&D world, never played before. So this is all new for them. Savage and Malice have both played before, but I know Malice has been hounding me for a while to get a game together, and he wanted to be involved. And Savage was involved in my original campaign, but through IRL stuff we had to sort of drop him from the campaign. So it's good to have him back in a D&D game in a time zone that suits him. So we've worked it out, got the logistics organised for me to be able to do it on my time zone, which is awesome. So it's tomorrow for me, just to let you know. For those of you in the US, it is Wednesday night. It's Thursday afternoon here for me, and on this side of the world. But so we're having a bit of fun with the D&D. I do have another campaign running on Sunday nights, New Zealand time, so that's late Saturday night, early Sunday morning for you in the US. which is about 36 episodes in. Our characters are about level 9, so we're starting to get really into the meat of the story on that one over there, and it's we're having a lot of fun with that.
I think it's like 2:30 in the morning for Central Time.
Yeah, so it's pretty early. That campaign is completely homebrew. So what that means for those that don't understand the lingo, it means that it's the whole thing has been created by me. So the world I created, the lore, the history I have created and written, the story as a whole I've created and written, and the characters are helping me tell the story. So their backgrounds and their backstories that they've created for their own characters, they have worked with me to tie those into the main story arc and create a bigger story, which has been really cool. So with this particular campaign being an official module, there won't be too much backstory stuff for the characters. There will be a little bit, but the backstory for them is more about how they play their characters and just about their personalities more than anything else. Although we will kind of chuck in a little bit of backstory stuff for roleplay purposes. And make sure you go check out the Lost Chapters. Mods, have we got a mod in the chat? Can we get a shout out for the Lost Chapters, please? Well, just while we wait for Malice to come back.
Yes.
So any questions, guys, as well, don't hesitate to ask. Especially even from the players, from the chat. If you've got some questions about D&D, about Curse of Strahd, if it's not a spoiler, I'll quite happily give it. But make sure you check out the Lost Chapters. They run a couple of nights a week doing the Curse of Strahd campaign. They're a bit further ahead than us. Good bunch of guys. They're awesome. I love watching them. I missed my own homebrew campaign on Sunday night because I wasn't really feeling into it, but I spent the time sitting in their channel watching them play. Amazing show. Definitely go check them out. Go show them some love. I'm not sure. They're on Australian time, Fletch. Pro Lost Chapters. What time AEST do you start? I might be able to give these guys an idea of what time it is in American. Because they're 2 hours behind us, Fletch, here in New Zealand.
I came in at the end this morning.
Yeah, I think it's early as well.
Yeah, it was like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. my time, so that'd be like 7 a.m.
Well, put it this way. For me, it's 1:30 in the afternoon for me. They're at about 11:30. So, yeah. So, they're like 2 hours behind us here in New Zealand. Yeah, so they're on Australian time. I think it's like 10 p.m. Australian, so that's midnight for me. So, that'll be... God.
5 a.m., I want to say.
Well, there you go. 8 p.m. on a Wednesday and a Sunday Australian.
So I polished off a bottle of wine.
Lovely.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
About
You
7
look
a.m.
like you polished off a bottle of wine. Fucking glassy-eyed motherfucker.
Great. I should. This shit is good, man. This shit is super good.
I don't drink that shit. Wine is horrible.
I've never even seen that. That's wild.
Okay, so there you go. GMT plus 10 is is for the Lost Chapters. So definitely go check. If you can't catch them live, definitely just pop over and hit them a follow anyway, and show them some love. They're awesome guys.
Fucking.
Holy Jesus!
He's having fun with this shit.
That's the
Yes.
Have you ever used Snapcam before, Death?
That was the first time.
First time.
I mean, I can go that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good. Holy
First
crap!
time
He's a
I
banana.
used it was the last time we linked up. Yeah, it's crazy.
I like mine.
That one's pretty cool. I think my DM
cool.
DM hood is pretty good. I probably should be wearing this still.
Fucking Death was a red avocado. Aguacate, cabron.
I was looking for a bird.
Yeah, there's not many. There's nothing really. I've had a look as well. There's nothing really decent. Pretty funny though. So, oh my god, he's a fucking controller.
Oh, look, he's a joystick, kind of like what his mom played with.
Oh wow. Oh jeez. Right. So, we will get back into it, guys. We're gonna get back into the show.
Jeez.
Right. So, what have we got here? I don't think I have Hermit Hut.
Oh,
That
there
might
we
work.
go.
So, without further ado, let's get back into the story. So you guys have decided to go directly to
the babe.
for the baby on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Yep. Can we make that happen quickly, please, so we can go kill the monster?
When you reach the 2nd floor landing, this is what you see as you reach the 2nd floor landing. You top of the.
Let me pull this up.
You reach the 2nd floor landing, and you see again. You've got the fire. The fireplace kind of goes up through the center of the building. You have 4 sets of armor flanking either side. 2 double doors. A single door off to the right as you proceed up the stairs. Do you stop on the 2nd floor, or do you proceed to the 3rd floor? I'll just describe.
I kind of want to investigate these statues that are there.
I'll just describe what you see here in a little bit more detail. So, unlit oil lamps are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece is a wood-frame portrait of the Durst family. There are 2 adults, a man and a woman, and 2 small children. Cradled in the father's arms is a swaddled baby, which the mother regards with a hint of scorn in this particular portrait. Standing suits of armor flank wooden doors in the east and west walls. Each suit of armor clutches a spear, has a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The doors are carved with dancing youths. The red marble staircase started on the 1st floor continues upwards in a spiral. A cold draft can be felt coming down the stairs, however.
Okay, I look at the group. Group, just in case, be ready for a trap. Be ready. Be ready for something to happen that we're not thinking that is going to happen.
Can I use my my
No, you can't.
and go on stealthily ahead of the group, just to see what's ahead of us.
Okay, I look at. Do you really want to go scuttling ahead of us when you're bitching and complaining that you don't have armor, that you were damaged beforehand? Do you really want to go scuttling ahead of us? By all means, go ahead. Catch bullets. I'm sorry. Catch sword.
I guess I miscalculated the armor part. Yeah, I guess I'll hang back.
So you're going to proceed to the 3rd floor or remain here and investigate? That is the question.
Why don't we proceed?
Be prepared.
We'll go right to where the action
right
is.
To the 3rd floor?
Orc, you go in front.
Right. So you proceed.
Go up in the front and examine.
You proceed further to the 3rd floor. Let me see where you guys are. I've got to check my map here. You're now in that area there, which is this part here. So as you reach the next landing, the 3rd floor landing, where are we? You climb this red marble staircase to its full height. You come to a dusty balcony. There is, across the top of this balcony is a suit of black plate armor standing against one wall, draped in cobwebs. The oil lamps are mounted on the oak panelled walls, which are carved with woodland scenes of trees, falling leaves, and tiny critters. So with that, I will give you a quick sneak peek of what you see. Badoosh, that is what you see where you are currently standing.
Do I hear a baby?
There are 2 doors.
Roll a perception check. There are 2 doors to your left and a corridor to your right. So you guys are literally
That is
coming
a
out.
15.
You are coming out at the very top of the stairs here. So there's a corridor here to the top of the map, and then there's 2 doors down here. So an 18 with perception. You do not hear a baby crying.
What
I
do we
say
see down the
check
corridor?
doors, to find maybe some equipment because we're running pretty low.
So
Chicken, stop chicken shit.
So you have a look, sort of peek around the corridor. You see a double door, and if you proceed a little bit further around, you see another single door, both closed.
Orc, what do you think?
I want to examine the statue.
Quick question: does the orc have like orcs normally have like a really strong sense of smell, don't they?
As a general, it depends, but yeah.
Orc, can you try to sniff out the baby, if there is one?
Okay.
Roll a perception check with disadvantage. So roll 2 d20s and take the lower.
1, 2 d20.
So yep. So two.
Or 2 d20.
Just
Alright.
roll
2
1
d20s.
d20. Roll 1 d20 twice and take the lower amount.
Alright, so 1 d20. And I don't have any.
With your
Effects or
modifier will
So then
be
2?
+2 perception. Yeah.
2. Okay. Got a 14 on that.
14's not bad.
Plus 2.
So whatever. Yeah. So do it twice and then whatever the lower one is.
Alright. 17.
17. So 14 was your lower. You stand up to your full height and you give a good deep inhale, and all you smell is dust, and it kind of gets in your nose, makes you sneeze a couple of times. And you
On a 14?
On a 14. Yep. With that,
No, babe.
does any so you guys you're all still standing at the top of the stairs. Does anyone proceed further forward into the 3rd floor?
Yeah, I say we go ahead.
I opened the closest door too.
So before you even get to that, Karis, the moment you step forward, the suit of armor lurches forward and reaches out to you and grabs your shoulder and pulls you backwards. And with that, we need everyone to roll initiative. So, guys, you will all need to. Your initiative is at the top of your sheet. You'll see next to your armor class, you've got this little shield frame with a number in it. To the immediate left of that, you'll have an initiative. I think everybody is a +1, except for Karis, who's a +3, and Yash, you're a +2. So roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier. Hold it to yourself at the moment and give me a couple of minutes. I have to do a quick drawing because I didn't anticipate you getting this far. So I have to draw up a map. So give me a moment.
It's okay.
So roll
bastards.
1d20 plus 1, right? With initiative?
Yep.
1?
Yep.
Alright.
Yep. Well, for you, I mean, for me, it's 3.
Yeah, I know. Alright.
So I got a 20, so I'm feeling pretty good about this.
Bad. Critical fail.
What? What do you mean? What? Huh?
Critical fail.
Ditto.
No.
I rolled a 2.
You rolled a
Initiative just
2?
means you roll low.
I rolled a 2.
That's
I
what
got
you
an
get. That's what you get for being an ugly fucking orc, man. Come on.
Got an 8.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame the dice.
You're good at swinging an axe. You're not good at using the thing you got upstairs. No, I'm just kidding. Fucking with you.
Gotta find the
Who's
baby.
running a microwave? I just heard a microwave.
Wasn't me. That's probably
I literally
nutty.
just heard. Okay, I literally just heard beep beep beep. I was like, what the fuck?
You made me turn around and look. Fuck.
Food.
Oh, dude, I'm full on fucking like between wine and beer. I'm fucking. I'm
I have
toasty.
some mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
No, I found it. Had to get my whiteboard marker out so I could draw this up.
Oh boy.
All good.
Evil, what did you expect us to do? I'm curious before we move
Well,
forward.
I
What did
expected to
expect
actually.
us to do?
I expected that you'd probably investigate a little bit further into the house rather than go straight to the third floor. But it's fine. It is perfectly fine. I did. I didn't. Well, not really. I kind of anticipated you getting this far, maybe next session. But I said it doesn't actually take much to draw it up. So we got there 2, 4, 6, 8.
Oh no, we're going.
4
We'll
by
keep
3.
going. I don't give a shit.
Order?
I'm good to go for another 2 hours.
I'll have to finish up at. I'm going to keep the sessions to 3 hours because when we get back to some form of normality after lockdown, it ties in with Hunter coming home from school.
Yeah. All good.
Right. So the small room. Feet.
Did we find that armor? Or no? Just armor.
No,
The armor grabbed.
no, chicken. Chicken, we didn't find armor. The armor grabbed me.
Wow, we gotta investigate.
We gotta kill a gate.
A suit of armor stepped forward and grabbed my fucking shoulder. What do you want to investigate? Let's stand back, group, and see what happens to Karis.
Let's see if he gets pulled apart.
Oof.
That would not be good.
It would not
Anyone
be
ever have roasted elf before?
Roasted elf? Yeah, roasted elf will work. So give me a moment, chat. I know this is a little bit...
Give you
normally I would be more prepared and have this set up prior and have a couple of maps set up, but like I said, I didn't actually expect these guys to get this far. I've got to find where my suit of armor is. I got trays and trays of minis, so I got to find where it is.
Oh yeah.
It's alright, Evil. Don't
It's all
explain. Do your thing, man.
All good. We're almost there. Like I said, guys, the other day during Session 0, we do not have a miniature for Yas as yet. It is coming still. Apparently it's still in California.
Which one is yes?
The Aarakocra.
Chicken boy.
Chicken boy.
Chicken, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The Aarakocra, the bird race.
All right. Why in the fuck? Why? I'm just curious. Why did you choose to be a bird?
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Especially at 4'3". I mean, come on, man.
Well, 4'11" to be fair.
I can get in small places, man. I can.
I'm sure you can.
So, very quickly, I know it's pretty rudimentary, but from memory, you have a door.
Gotta be a bird. Gotta be a bird.
Door. And towards your north, where's my laser pointer? So, if you look at the battle map there, guys, that area there is where the corridor is. There's another doorway sort of up around here. That is you, Karis, next to the armor, which is there, which has reached out and grabbed you.
The one in front of me.
Yep. So that's
Closest
the armor.
to the door.
Picture to my
Okay.
head.
This that there is Grimgash. Then we have Dash Tack, and we have Birdman there on the map.
The back, okay.
Can I just automatically, out of like being scared, Eldritch Blast this fucking thing?
No, you're a melee range, and you cannot Eldritch Blast that close. But you can have a reaction to being grabbed, so you can make a Dexterity saving throw for me to see if you can slip out of its grasp.
Well, before I do that, the one that I rolled before, what was it?
So your initiative?
Yeah,
so
it
let's
was 20.
So let's give me 1 second here. Where is
Yeah, the
my
initiative.
encounter? So
I rolled a
encounter.
20.
So Karis rolled a 20 on initiative. Yes, what was your initiative? So D20 plus 2.
Yeah, that was I believe 6. Yep.
6. Grimgash, your initiative roll.
Alright, so it's 1d20, right?
D20 plus 1 for you.
Yeah. Alright, so d20 plus 1 is to the 2 critical fail.
Oh, nat 1, guys. A nat 1. We don't ever need a nat 1 yet, so roll. We can have. I'll give Rip Face. And Dastak, yours, please.
That was an 8.
An 8.
God damn it, guys.
Natural 1. So, Karis, you're top of the initiative order anyway, but I'll give you your first reaction. Make a dexterity saving throw for me to see if you could slip out of the grasp of the armor as it steps forward.
Alright, hold on a second. 22?
22. That's a good roll. So as you step forward and the armor lurches, you hear the grating of metal on metal as this plate armor just lurches forward and grabs you, and just you sort of catch it out of the corner of your eye, and you go, whoa! And you step back and twist and turn, and the rest of you sort of eyes wide. I mean, you've seen a little bit of combat. I mean, Grim, you're probably not as surprised. You've seen a reasonable amount of combat with your background.
I mean, I am a barbarian bird, you know.
Right? But this is the first time you've seen a supposedly inanimate suit of armor come to life. So you are all a little startled by this. But Karis, you do get first go. So with your saving throw, you've managed to get out of its reach. So you're now probably about 10 feet away. I'm back to about there. So you are first in initiative order. So you can make your attack if you wish.
Okay, I'll roll the Eldritch Blast then. Can I do that? Yeah?
You can do that, yes. So you are 10 feet away, so you can roll your Eldritch Blast. So roll your to hit, which is a D20 plus 5.
21.
Nice roll. That does indeed hit. So roll your damage, which is a 1d10.
Alright, 10. 5.
Do 5 points of force damage. As you sort of recoil from this armor lurching out and trying to grab you, you sort of reach back and you pull back your right hand and you mutter the arcane words, and this greenish reddish spell forms in your hand, and you release it, striking the armor in its chest, putting a dent in the chest plate as the force damage strikes out with a thunderous sound as it strikes this hollow armor. With that, you still now have potential bonus action and movement if you wish. I don't think you have any bonus actions right now at your level.
No.
No, not really.
No, I don't.
So you
Not
can
really.
choose to move if you wish from where you are, or stay where you are.
Alright, who's who in this clusterfuck of characters?
You've got Yash directly behind you. There.
Okay.
You've got Dashtak next to him, and then Grimgash is at sort of the top of the stairs.
The orc is at the top of the stairs.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna try to dodge and move to the side, and I'm gonna yell to the orc, throw your fucking axe. Throw it.
So which way are you going to move? Towards the stairs or away from the stairs?
I'm gonna move towards the door to my left.
So you dart out of the way and you scream out. Scream out. Tell them what you're
Orc! Throw the fucking axe!
And with that, it is now Dashtak's turn. You are next.
Just pulling out my bow.
You're in the
Shooting
yes, you're up after Dashtak.
Okay.
So you're gonna attempt to shoot him with your
arrow.
bow. Roger that. So roll to attack.
8.
8 misses. You fire. You draw back. You knock an arrow. You fire, and it just goes ting off the armor, hits the chest plate, and just ricochets off and lands on the floor. You have now movement and a bonus action.
I'm just going to sit where I am, just like
So that is it for you. Next up is Yas. So, just to give you a quick rundown there, Twin, because you've never been in combat before.
Right.
Right. For you as a barbarian, you do have a bonus action which you can use right off the bat if you wish, which gives you the ability to rage. What that does, it will halve any physical damage that you take when you take damage. So it's up to you whether you rage.
Elf stealing your feather. Elf stealing your feather.
Yeah. So yeah, I think back to earlier and immediately channel all that rage from every time somebody
so on your sheet
tries to steal a feather,
yes.
And finally now succeeded.
Awesome. So on your character sheet under Actions tab, if you got under the Actions tab, you'll see, or if you scroll down, you'll see where rage is, and just put a check in one of those boxes to say that you've raged.
Yep, there we go.
Yep. So just put a check.
Limited use, right?
Yep, because you only get 2 per long rest. So marked it off that you've raged. So you're now raging. So what that does, you will add +2 to your damage when you roll your damage, and we'll walk you through that.
Okay.
So at the moment, you get 1. You've used your bonus action, so you now have an action. You're raging. So you guys sort of look as this 4'11" bird who doesn't look like much. I mean, he's bulky, but he doesn't look like he's muscly. Screeches out in a low guttural screech. His eyes glow in a dim sort of red haze, and he surges forward to attack this armor.
I grab both hand axes.
You can only strike with 1 because you've used your bonus action. So you can you can strike with 1 axe.
But I only managed to grab 1.
So
as I swing.
Yep. So you swing forth. Roll a d20 +6 to hit.
Evil, you moved me.
Chicken, you better do some fucking damage, or I swear to God, you're gonna be dinner tonight.
Here we go. 19.
19 does hit. So now you roll a d6 +4. So roll a d6, add 4 to it, and that's your damage. +6. So a d6 +6 because you're raging.
6 + 6.
Yep.
12.
So 12 points of damage. You guys watch as this little bird surges forward, and raises a hand axe and slams it down into the join between the shoulder and the shoulder plate and the chest plate of this armor, splitting open the shoulder part of the armor. I mean, there's no blood or anything, but you hear this kang as it hits the armor, and then the screeching of metal as it splits it. And yeah, you do some pretty serious damage to this piece of armor with an amazing hit of 12 damage. With that is pretty much your turn. You've moved, you've had bonus action. It is now the armor's turn.
Oh God.
The armor sort of cocks its head to one side and looks at you. Yes, you've done the most damage to it, and it goes to move its left arm where you've sort of hit it, and it screeches and grinds metal as it moves, and it raises its own hand axe and strikes out towards you, which takes 2 attacks.
But the orc didn't get to throw his axe?
Not yet.
Okay. Right.
So that is a 10 on both attacks to hit. What is your armor class? Your armor class is 13, so it misses with both attacks. Strikes forward. You're just too quick, and you dodge one attack. You dodge the next, and
That bird.
you just stand up to your full 4'11", get in its face, and just go yeah, and just take no damage at all.
Kentucky Fried Chicken's got some moves.
And with that, Grimgash, it is now your turn, sir. So for you as well, you have the option of a movement, a bonus action, which you probably don't really need at this point.
Throw your dick, man. Throw it.
So you've got with you a great axe and a heavy crossbow. Your choice which you want to use.
I'm gonna use my great axe, and I'm gonna do like an overhand, not a throw, but like I'm gonna go down with my axe over the top of it.
Move up into melee combat.
Yep.
And you are going to overhand strike this suit of armor that has lurched forward, tried to grab your companion. I mean, you're not friends, but you don't want to see anyone die to a inanimate object, of course. I mean, without a fair fight. So you will strike out to hit with a D20 plus 6. So if you look at your actions tab, it'll show your great axe on your actions tab on your character sheet.
Yep.
And you'll see there that to hit, the hit slash DC is a plus 6. So that's you add that to your D20 to see if you can hit this suit of armor.
So roll 1d20
plus 6.
plus 6. Yep. 13.
13. That misses. This armor is it's armor. It's a big piece of plate armor. You strike down with your great axe, and the animated armor sort of turns and sees you come in, raises its own axe and parries the attack with a resounding sort of kang, sparks flying, and with that, that is pretty much your turn. At this point, we then are back to the top of the initiative order with Karis. It is now your turn again, sir.
Alright, so I moved over by the door.
You did. You still have line of sight without too many hassles?
Ah, fuck. Remind me what Toll the Death does.
Toll of the Dead is a spell I have to make a save for. So if you look at spells there, Toll of the Dead, I have to make a wisdom saving throw to see whether you can damage me with it. If I have already taken damage, you actually roll a d12 instead of a d8 if I fail the wisdom check. So do you wish to use Toll of the Dead? Okay, rolling the wisdom save. Critical fail on the wisdom save, so roll your d12 because this creature has taken damage, so you get a d12 instead of a d8.
12.
12 points of damage. You guys watch as Karis is carrying a whip as well. I don't know if we described this earlier, but he's carrying a whip with him, and he grabs his whip, and you watch the whip glow in this dark green reddish energy as he focuses, puts his head down, puts his hand forward, and you hear this audible bell, like a church bell. And as that bell chimes out, you watch the creature's helmet buckle and bend and almost implode on itself as it takes 12 points of damage. That's massive. The armor then drops its weapon to its feet, hitting the floor. Kang, 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 kang. Karis, is that your turn? Do you wish to move, or you want to stay where you are?
I'm going to take one step back, just out of the whole shock of the whole situation.
Get back. Not a problem. Next up is Dastak. And yes, you're up after that.
I don't really have line of sight, correct?
Yeah, you could get an arrow between those two if you really wanted to. I mean, you're pretty dexterous.
Okay.
I'd say that's a natural skill as an archer. You'd definitely be able to put an arrow between allied parties.
Okay.
Unless, of course, if you roll a natural 1.
Natural 20.
I was going to say, that better not be a natural 1, because that would be funny as shit. Right, another nat 20, guys. 24. With a 24 to hit, that definitely hits. Roll your damage. So for natural 20s, guys, instead of rolling double dice like they normally do, what we're going to do is you take your weapon's damage or your spell's damage and maximize it, and then roll another dice of damage dice. So for you, if you're on your bow, savage, so your bow is normally a d8, so you'll make it 8 plus another d8, and then add your modifier.
So that is 8 plus 4, so that's 12, 14.
14 points of damage. Mr. Dastak, describe how you destroy this piece of armor with your shot.
It's gonna. The arrow flies and it lodges right into the center of the breastplate, and it just shatters.
So yeah, as you fire, you draw back, you aim, you take the time, you nock your arrow, you draw it to full draw, you hold it for a second, then you release that arrow, and it buries deep into the chest plate of this armor. It's taken so much damage now, the armor starts to crack as the magic that was holding this armor together dissipates as you reduce it to 0 hit points, and the whole lot just falls to the ground, unmoving, dust kicking up as it hits the ground. And we are now out of initiative order. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. That is your first combat.
Is it dead?
That is dead.
Yeah,
that
dead.
is your first combat round completed.
Victorious.
You are victorious,
Well, wait a minute.
indeed.
But wait a minute. There's another suit of armor up at the top of the stairs, and there's 4 of them downstairs.
There's only one suit of armor where you currently are, which you've just killed.
Oh, okay.
But there is 4. There is 4 downstairs that you passed. You are correct in that. With that.
I think we kept going.
So you are now at the top of on this landing with the 2 doors to your next to you, Karis, and a little alcove with another door or 2 to your north.
Can you go back to your mini map? I'm looking at your stream. Can you go back to your little map there?
So that's what you're currently looking at. So you're standing about here. The suit of armor is now here, dead, just in a pile on the floor. Up to the top here is a little alcove, and there's another couple of doors up there, and the 2 doors here.
Does my character have anything that I can do to kind of try to find where this child is at, or is it just like blind luck opening fucking doors?
I would say at the moment it's pretty much blind luck. It's just going to be an investigation by you guys. You don't have any spells or anything yet.
I say go through the door that's closest to me, which is to the left of me. That door right there. We're going to go through and check each door. Well, let me go to the group first. What do you guys think? I mean, we have no idea where this child is. We haven't heard this child. This is beginning to feel quite like a trap. We have several doors to go through. If there is a child, I do want to save the child. But how do we do this? Orc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't
wanted
paying
to save the
attention.
child.
Okay,
No,
so
I
what
do.
we
I want to save the child. So do you want to go? You want to go down and face the other pieces of armor, or I think we should just go up to the 3rd floor and
You are on
We
the
are
3rd
on the
floor.
doors.
You are currently on the 3rd floor, and you've got 4 doors at which you can investigate. Karis is suggesting you search the door to the south of your current position, which is to your immediate left.
All right, let's check out the door. Let's
All right,
let's go.
what is the?
Yeah.
Can I look through the keyhole?
Can you look
Is
through
there
the
a
keyhole?
keyhole?
You
Right.
you look for a keyhole, and there is no keyhole.
Shit. Are there any cracks in the door?
Door is closed. There doesn't appear to be any cracks in the door.
All right, let's see if we can open it. Just barely open it, like peek it open, just to observe. It's-
Okay,
see
that's
what's
what he says. I say we
Okay.
just kick it open and make it quick.
You want to kick the door open?
I'm asking
Arrow
my
at the
group.
ready.
Yeah,
Um,
I say we just go
arrow.
in. I mean, we've already won one battle, so we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, and a little pumped up on the battle that we just had, and we're ready to go fearless into the next room.
All right, chicken. When I said group, I wasn't talking about you. Like you fought well. You fought well. Much respect.
Oh, come on, I do damage, and
But
I can escape.
You lied to the group. You have
When?
much
to pass through before I can trust you, because you saw an old man on top of the gate. Open the
While
gate.
he's yelling, I'm walking to the door. I'm going to the door.
You're going to try the door?
Yep.
Okay, so Dastak, you approach the door and you reach for the handle and you turn the handle and the handle turns and the door opens. It creaks loudly as you open into a largest bedroom. Dust and cobwebs shroud an elegantly appointed bedroom. Double doors set with panes of stained glass reveal what looks from where you're standing a balcony overlooking the front of the main house. The bedroom contains a large bed, 2 end tables, a wardrobe. Mounted on the wall next to the wardrobe is a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame carved to look like ivy and berries. There is... That's pretty much it, really. There's not too much else in this room. I'll give you a quick glimpse of this room. Badoosh. So you've just come in.
Can we go to the balcony and scream to the children and ask where your sibling is?
Just give me a moment. So you've just come into this part here. So you're just literally in the part of the room. So that's what you see from where you're standing. Those are the doors to the balcony, the double doors there. This is another single door here. You've got a wardrobe there, end tables, bed, and the mirror is on this wall here. And that is where we're going to call this session, guys, because we're just after 2:00. Yep. We've run our 3 hours. We will pick up the next Wednesday night for you in the US, Thursday morning for us here in the OC. We'll pick up right there. We'll do a start of each show. We'll do a recap on the previous show to give you guys a reminder of what happened and just a quick rundown. And then we will return to this particular bedroom and continue with our story.
That's
yes.
Great. Oh, yeah. Ready.
So, thank you very much to my players, Malice, Deathvale, Savage, and Twingats. Savage, if you want to just give people a little bit of info about you and plug your Twitter so people know where to find you, and we'll go through all the players. We'll do this at the end of every stream just so you guys know where everyone is.
Well, I'm going to be streaming starting here in the near future. I'm getting all my stuff and everything to get back into streaming since my accident, and I'm a incomplete quadriplegic because of a car accident. So, and my Twitter is xd_SBCX. So somebody had the SBC. So, but yeah, where you can find my Twitter, and I'll start posting once I start streaming again.
Awesome. So Twitter handle above his cam there, guys. Go check him out. Hit him up a follow on Twitter. Keep an eye on him. He will be streaming again in due course. Mr. Deathvale, would you like to give people a little bit of info about you, sir, what you're up to, what you do, socials, so forth?
Well, I do have socials. I have Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, just Deathvale or Deathvale on Mix. I stream mainly on Mixer. I do music streams, and I play various amounts of games and stuff. Mainly I play guitar. And there I'm also in a death metal band called Nyctophile. And, I yell on a microphone, and people like it.
Definitely check out Nyctophile, guys. If you don't know anything about these guys, check them out. Awesome band. Nyctophile was gracious enough to allow me to use one of their songs as an intro and outro to my gaming streams. Those that have hung out in my gaming streams would have heard that song. We've used it as a button. One of my favorite songs from them. Definitely go check them out for sure.
Yep.
Mr. Malice.
Yeah. So I'm Mr. Malice and pretty much everything here on Twitch. I'm Mr. Malice, 2 eyes in the Mister, because some son of a bitch already has Mr. Malice in the normal sense. I co-run the ball community with Mr. Evldoa and Deathvale over here. We are a alternative lifestyle community. If you are into some weird shit, horror movies, heavy music, or what have you that is just not normal, come join the community and hang out with us. The Ball Show is a podcast, is going to be starting next week, and our first interview is actually going to be Mr. Deathveil on the second week of the podcast. We're going to be talking about his band and music and basically goth culture in general. So we are the weirdos, ladies and gentlemen, and if you consider yourself a weirdo, come join us. We welcome all walks of life.
And just to reiterate on that, definitely. There is a link to the Bile Discord in my description. Check it out. There's a big button there. Hit them up. Come and join us in there. Also, my Discord details are in there too. I hang out in my Discord all the time. But yeah, Bile community is just that. We're just a bunch of weirdos, basically. If you think you're weird, you think you're a nerd. Doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter whether you're religious or not. That kind of shit doesn't matter. Just come and hang out and have fun with like-minded people. Just that's what we do. So, Mr. Twigats.
That's what it's about, man. I'm a weirdo now. Yes, I am. Yeah, man. I like metal. I like the hardcore, darker side of life, man. I'm
then
guilty.
join Ball, fucker.
I think he's already
For
in there.
sure, man.
But yeah, so
This
give
is
him
what I've been
yeah, just
doing,
let everyone know
dude.
what you do, your content on your stream, your socials. I know you do graphic design and shit as well.
No,
so
my everything's Twin Gats Gaming, pretty much on everything. Lately, I've been doing like 3D modeling live. We did a whole scene from American McGee's Alice. We're making like concept art now and turning it into like a 3D prototype on stream. So that's what I've been working on all week. And so we're doing a contest.
yeah, I saw that on Twitter, dude. That was looking sick, man.
Oh, it came. We had the developers from Core Games come by today and help me with the project a little bit more.
Awesome.
And yeah, they were like walking me through all these cool things that you can do in like a 3D environment. It's a new thing. It's called coregames.com. It's a 3D engine that anybody can download and like make your own stuff. But yeah, that's what I've been working on. But we're working on mostly creative stuff lately.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So yeah, guys, Twin Gats Gaming here on Twitch. Twitter's above his cam there as well. So again, just to re-thank everyone for tuning up. Chat, you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Yanti for the 5 gifted subs. You guys, you rock. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Dark Ravine coming in. I see you there, buddy. Thank you so much. You're our top biddy donator this month so far. So thank you very much to you as well. Make sure you check these guys out. Follow them on Twitter. Go hang out with them if they're streaming. If they've got a sub button, fucking do it, man. Do it. Definitely hang out. Come and see us in the Bile community and in my community. Come and hang out with all of us. Like I say, Bile show starts next Friday morning for us here in the OC. Thursday night for you guys in the US next week. So definitely come and hang out with us. It's going to be a 90-minute podcast. Pretty much zero politics, zero religion. It's going to be all about just alternate culture, goth culture, heavy metal, music, horror, whatever. It's just going to be about us talking about stuff that we know and have opinions on and stuff that we've lived our lives and stuff like that. So it's just all going to be fun stuff.
Yeah.
Also, tune in Sunday nights to the Paradigm Bold Homebrew Campaign, episode 36, 7:30 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time. Come and see us. Yanti, Pekka, Trashman, my brother, Nutty are all involved in that one. Come and hang out with us there. We are still doing gaming streams, few and far between, but they are still there. I do announce them in the Discord and on the Twitter, so make sure you follow me on Twitter, which is right up there above me. YouTube as well. If one of the mods can chuck in the socials link and the YouTube link, that'll be awesome. We've finally got our custom YouTube link, so I'm wrapped with that. So search Evldoa on YouTube. This VOD will be available tomorrow afternoon. I will be uploading this VOD to a playlist on my YouTube tomorrow. All the VODs for the Paradigm Bold campaign are also uploaded the day after latest Tuesday for them, but they'll all be up on the YouTube eventually. So go check it out. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all the stuff. Hit the bell so you get notifications and all that good stuff. So we should raid somebody.
Follow the campaign.
Well, for Trash Man, we didn't die.
Well, I'm still gonna be streaming.
You're still going to be streaming. I got to raid someone on. I got to raid someone here on Twitch. So I mean, I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to be hosting you over on Mixer here shortly, but I should be hosting.
Yeah,
already.
I'm popping off.
Well,
I'm popping off. I'm
I'm
gonna.
gonna-
It's been a long
Yeah, no
day.
problem.
No
I'm gonna
worries.
be switching my OBS and stuff as well. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
But we are going
Appreciate
to
it.
find
It's a good game,
someone.
y'all.
BRB, and I'm gonna be still streaming. I think I'm gonna be doing some fucking old No Man's Sky or some shit.
Ooh, nice.
No Man's Sky.
Great game. Great game.
I'll tell you what. We're gonna raid Malice. Fuck you. We're gonna raid you, motherfucker. Act surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, asshole.
Yeah, act surprised, you bitch.
Let me do my main screen then.
Right, so I'm going to do the thanks thing. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with us. We will see you on Sunday night for more D&D, and then next week with these guys. Make sure you check us out. Check out the YouTube. Check out the socials.
Yep.
Ciao, guys. Thank you very much.
Yep, I'm gonna pop off right here.
Same
See y'all
thing.
later.